to the B. Lenore Show. Here, we will discuss lifestyle, beauty, celebrity gossip, and current events in our own way, my way, the style. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday. It's Thirsty Thursday, baby. And we in here. How y'all doing today? I hope y'all are having a great Thursday. Today is May 29th, 2025. What y'all got going on? It's a lot going on. What y'all got going on? Let's see who's in here real quick. It's only a few of us. That's fine. Hell, I feel like anyway, we'll talk about it. Hit the like button, though, for me. If you don't mind, hit that motherfucking like button, okay? Actually, I'm going to share this out. Do me a favor, hit the like button and share this out. I'm going to do that right now. Oh, I did. I already did that. Okay. Never mind. I did it. I shared it. Did y'all share it? Huh? Did you? Did you text somebody? Email somebody? Call somebody? Do something. Let the people know we is in here. We in here, boo. Okay? We in here and we going to talk about it. All right? We're going to talk about what they don't want us to talk about. Okay? Now, look. The title is, what is the title? The Diddy Trial Update. Okay? It's the Diddy Trial Update. Victim number 2 took the stand today in the Diddy trial. And there were a lot of rumblings about who victim number 2 is before she even got on the stand. She got on the stand today. I think her testimony is probably going to be maybe one of the most impactful. This might be their star witness. I mean, I know a lot of people thought Cassie was the star witness, but I don't know if Cassie will make the impact this woman can and probably will make. Listen, do I have a, is it smeared? Huh? I think it is. Sorry. Anywho, so there were a lot of rumblings about who she was, and she's going by the name Mia, the pseudonym Mia, while on the stand. But I'm pretty sure I've figured out who she is. I'm certain of it. And the context clues that were dropped today in the testimony sort of solidified it for me. Okay. And we'll get into the details. Let me say hi to y'all first. Hey, Sari Colette. How are you? Hi, Cece. Hey, CJ. Hey, Leo Lady. Hey, Rossi. Gemini 64. Hi, boo. Okay. Thank you, boo. Thank you. Hey, Aunt Natty. Lexi the Law Nerd. Shout out to Lexi the Law Nerd because she provided me with the documentation for the second part of what we're going to discuss today. Okay, because we're going to discuss two things. We're going to discuss Mia, her testimony so far, and who she is, a little background about her. But on the other side, we're going to talk about the itty bitty Diddy. Okay, we're gonna break down the lawsuit that Jane Doe submitted about Diddy's itty bitty Tootsie Roll. Okay, so shout out to Lexi the Law Nerd for that. Okay, thank you, Lexi. Hey, minding business, life ain't over. Hey, the real BB, work in progress is in here. Yes, hey, Miss Lorraine, girl, where you been, girl? How you doing? Say, Jay. Let's see who else in here. Diddy's baby oil and Astroglide. Ew, nasty ass. Okay. All right. So y'all, let's get into it. So let me say this first, because I understand that they have kept this person anonymous. I also understand that the people, look, I'm not in the courtroom. I have not talked to anybody that was in the courtroom. But when I tell you that I have been able to verify what I'm about to share, I have been able to verify what I'm about to share. Okay. As best as I can. I'll put it that way. I am 99% sure that this is the lady. Okay. I'm certain of it. Now, they were asked in the courtroom not to identify her. And obviously, she won't be photographed. But I have a photograph, got a couple. Mm-hmm. And actually, that's what I meant to do. I'm going to load them in here in a second. But the reason why I'm going to talk about it, and I understand why they do that. Here's the thing, and I did hear a couple of people give like a brief update during this last break. And again, I understand they're under an obligation to keep her anonymous. I get that. But I don't think that us discussing this is out of line. And I'll tell you why. There was victim number 3 that they also did not give a name to, right? But they talked a lot about the fact that victim number 3 had gone missing. Okay. Victim number 3 went missing. And once victim number 3 went missing, they started talking about it. Hey, TD Will, they still were talking about who that person was, which, victim number 3. I don't know that the courts verified who she was, but the bloggers present verified in their own way, I guess, who victim number 3 was. And they believed it to be Gina, right? They had talked about this weeks, that she had gone missing. Hey, Sonia's life, that she had gone missing. And they still identified her. Now, I don't know why it's more important to keep this lady protected versus Gina. Some will say because Gina did not come to testify. And okay, but she was still victim number 3, right? I mean, she was still a victim. And even if she did not come to testify, it doesn't make her less of a victim. Even if this lady, even if Gina decided that she was going to take money, if she decided that she just wants to rekindle something with Diddy, it still doesn't make her less of a victim. Okay? Which is that Gina talked publicly about, and that's the other thing I was going to say. Gina did talk publicly about the actual abuse that she went through. That's why we know she's a victim. We know that Diddy whooped her ass regularly. We know that allegedly, by her, from her words, she says that Diddy kicked her into a miscarriage, basically. In my opinion, Gina could have Stockholm syndrome. Gina could just have fear in her heart. There's a lot of things, but she is still a victim. She is still a victim, right? And she wasn't protected. And even though Gina talked about it publicly, they did not say her name in the courtroom that I know of. She was not listed by name. She was discussed as victim number 3. So that's why I'm going to talk about this. Now, let me tell you something else. This is just my personal belief. You don't have to agree with this either. But you know how the Black woman is the least protected person in the country, right? We talked about that. It's been said time and time again, Black women are the least protected in this society. But do you know who the most protected in this society is? The white woman. And not just any kind of white woman. Oh, no. No, 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 no. The blonde, blue-eyed white woman. The one that's most revered. The one that's most idolized and set apart from all the rest. If you notice, all the white girls at some point try to dye their hair blonde, okay, at least once in their life. Somehow it has been identified that the paler your skin and the lighter your hair and the bluest of the eye, that is the person that is most protected in this society. So it doesn't surprise me that this lady is being protected in this way as well, because she's blonde and she's white. Now, that does not take away from what she's gone through. I also recognize how important her testimony will be, because she is that blonde, blue-eyed white woman. I mean, let's let it work in our benefit this time around, okay? Hopefully it will put this demon away. I'm just saying. So I may get criticized for what I'm about to share, but I still want to talk about it. We talk about everything else. So again, this is just my theory about who this person is. And like I said, I have 98% sure that this is the woman. Okay? All right. Y'all ready? Y'all want to know? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to know. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't. Now, some of the things that we've learned about this person, Miss Lorraine says she want to know, child. She want to know. Hit that like button. Okay, I'm gonna need to get these likes up before I start, giving names and showing pictures and things, child. Okay. Hit that like button. So this is what we've learned about her so far today, because she's still testifying as we speak. Maybe we can jump over there if we have time and see what all came out while we were live, because I think they just went back into the courtroom not too long ago. But these are some of the things that we do know. We know that this woman went to work for Diddy, I guess a few years after he produced the show I Want to Work for Diddy. Y'all remember that? When I tell you and still not as much as I used to be because of YouTube, but I was such a reality show geek. Like, I loved all the reality shows, but most specifically the Black ones. I really, really liked the ones where it looked like it was a chance to allow ordinary people to become famous, and to find a niche and carve a space in the business for themselves, almost like instant fame. So I was always interested in that. And honestly, I was lightweight. I mean, not even lightweight. I was a Diddy fan. But that was me not knowing anything about him. Okay. So I was watching. Hey, lovely one. Uh-oh. What you say? V, my love, let's talk about how Kim Porter had unsubscribed sleeping pills in her house versus Mr. Frank Black had a whole damn pharmacy. Is anyone making the connection? Honey, I'd have made that connection. I mean, not about the sleeping pills, but I have always said I thought that he had something to do with her passing. I do. I just do. I do. Can't nobody make me think different. I actually was looking at the autopsy report for Kim Porter last week. Last week. So yes, we can. We can come out here maybe tomorrow. That's what we do, because I was literally looking at her autopsy report. So we can do that for sure. Thanks, lovely one. Thank you. What you say, CJ? Right. A way to get an in that regular folks in New York, LA, Atlanta areas. Yeah, yeah, not just in those areas, just like, a regular person who had a dream, and then they could go on these shows and they could, find the space. So I love that. And so I was watching everything, and I was definitely watching all of the Making the Bands. I want to work for Diddy. In fact, I thought about applying. I ain't gonna lie. There was 2 shows I thought about applying to. And honestly, and one of them I still might. Well, one doesn't exist. So one of the shows I thought about applying to be on was I Want to Work for Diddy. Until I saw him. Well, no, that's a lie. I did want to try out for that show. I thought about it after the fact, right? I can't even remember if they had 2 seasons. I remember 1 season. And after that, I was like, oh, I want to do it. But I didn't apply. The other show is Big Brother. I still might, especially right now. I ain't got shit to do. Shit. If I go on Big Brother, y'all gonna watch. Okay. Even if y'all don't watch Big Brother, y'all gonna watch if I get on there. Child, I might go ahead and apply, child. I might. Yeah, he was definitely going to try and hit you with the shut up. Well, you know what? I ain't trying to be funny. And this ain't because I think I'm all that. I think it sounds like that's what he does with everybody. Like, really, like some of the shit that we just heard today, like this dude is I mean, it's giving Ernest Williams vibes, kinda, sorta. So we'll talk about that. Didn't the coroner who did? Yes, she did. I talked about this in a video last year. CJ said, didn't the coroner who did Kim's autopsy pass away? Yes, he did, mysteriously. When he said that this was, hey, allegedly in Herman, when he said that her death was suspicious, he died. And then in his 60s, a white man. Okay, they live longer than we do a lot of time, most of the time. And he died in his 60s. So he died suddenly, and then a new coroner came in and changed the report. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it because all this shit is shifty as fuck. Okay, but anywho, so anyway, okay, so back to this show. I remember watching all of that. So what we learned today is that this particular lady, she went to work for Diddy a few years after that. They asked her what was it like working for him, and she said it was a lot like the show I Want to Work for Diddy. And they would be working all night. Hey, official Dana J. Look, I saw you and Dennis talking about me yesterday. I wasn't hating on you, Dana J. I wasn't. I was just saying, look, if what they say is true about you and that tracker, I'm just saying. I was just trying to be fair. Okay, that's all I'm saying. But don't ever get effed up. I'm leaning towards you, Dana J. I'm leaning that would be a whole lot if you came out here to frame this lady. Okay, so I'm gonna believe that they done figured that out. We know. Look. Okay, but we'll talk about that in another live. All right. But welcome to the chat. Hey, Shay. What you say? I'm praying for every member of Days 26 to take the stand and each men get their justice. Those men suffered. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. What Q has said recently has been heartbreaking. I did not see the interview that Day 26 did with Vlad. I saw a clip of it just the other day, and it was sad as spook. It was really, really sad. So yeah, we can talk about that too. Um, so anyway, the lady said that she started out as a assistant, executive assistant for Diddy. She said when she went to interview with him, she came to the door. I mean, I'm sorry, she went to his house. Now, that's the first thing. Now, I understand there are certain executives, especially in that field, that probably do work from home. His homes are massive. So it's probably like walking into a freaking office building or a museum. And there's that. But she said that when she went to interview at the house, he opened the door, he welcomed her at the front door in his underwear. And that eventually he put clothes on. Now I believe that that they all um I think most people when they see something like that, they get stunned. Depending upon when you would have caught me, I'm just gonna be honest, okay? I don't know how else to put this. I have without going into details, I have shared that I'm a victim. And but I was a child actually. And that really really can impact you. And uh while I wasn't victimized, how do I put this? So, as I got older, there were other times where someone may have touched me or made an attempt to touch me inappropriately. Like as I got older, because I told y'all I've been this height. I'm 5'9", right? 5'9.5". And I've been this height since I was 12, which means I was growing a lot faster than most of my peers. And I was developing breasts and curves and all of that. That was happening a lot earlier um, than a lot of others. And because of that, it got the attention of older boys and men. Okay. Now, my mother always taught me how to curve that kind of those attempts, because she warned me that that would happen. But when those moments did happen, there were times when I would sort of freeze up in those moments or quickly run away from those moments. But more often than not, those attempts, I did not address them the way I would address them now. I'll just put it that way. So if you had caught me maybe in my early 20s and you came to the door like that, I don't know how I would have responded. I would have immediately probably had like a little panic attack, but I don't know how I would have responded to that, right? And I think that a lot of times that is why we find that these victims tend to be younger women because you are more vulnerable. You've had less life experience, and you haven't matured enough or developed enough mentally and emotionally to necessarily know how to handle those things. So this woman, when she goes to the door and he comes to the door with his underwear on, she still came in to the home and she still continued with the interview. Some would say, well, why didn't she just leave then? That was so inappropriate, because you don't know what else she's gone through before. Like, I don't know. Or maybe, like I said, she didn't know how to handle that. Um, I had a boss that really was sexually harassing towards me, very, very sexually harassing towards me. And I continued to work for him. And again, I didn't know what rights I really had. I knew I needed a job. I was a single mom, and I just kind of dealt with it and just brushed it off. But it wasn't until later, once I started to learn more about human resources and sexual harassment and all of those things, that that's when I figured out, like, okay, this was really illegal. This was really wrong. Why I didn't have to put up with this shit. And I'm gonna tell you something. When Anita Hill, if you all remember when Anita Hill um 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 had to testify in front of Congress about Clarence Thomas sexually harassing her, I was one of those women who was like, girl, if that happened, girl, first of all, that ain't happened, girl. And if it happened, why you talking about it? Or da, 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 da. Like, I was that chick. I really was. I was that person until I got a little older, and then I experienced it. And then I got even older and learned more about sexual harassment and stuff, right? So, anywho, this lady says she came in and eventually he did put his clothes on. She says she was hired to earn $55,000 a year. She was to be his executive assistant. They told her she worked 40 hours. She said she almost always worked. No, not almost always. She always worked over 40 hours. She said she rarely got any sleep. She said when she did get sleep, she said one time she worked 4 days straight with no sleep to the point where she was having probably a mental break. And finally, Diddy told her that she could go. She said sometimes she had an apartment she stayed at, but with roommates, and the roommates, because she was never home, there was a running joke in the house that she was that they were living with a ghost because she was never there. She even though she had a place to live, quite often she stayed at his home because it was required. Hey, Texas Toy. So when she stayed at his house, she was not allowed to lock her door. She was not allowed to lock the bedroom door of his home. He said that is his house and nobody locks doors in his house. Now, you and I would say then I wouldn't be staying in this house, because I wouldn't. Not at this age, but I think in my 20s, I would have been afraid not to, or I would have just not worked for him. I probably would have either quit, been a no-show, something like that, or I would have been right there to making myself susceptible to that type of treatment, to be quite honest. Now, I did not hear where they got into testimony about the fact that he had SA'd her, because they're saying that he SA'd her as well. They're probably going to get into that this afternoon, if not right now. She said that she and Cassie were very close friends, but initially she was hired, or not hired, but she was assigned by Diddy to babysit Cassie, to be all up in Cassie's business, basically to be her friend and to keep an eye on her. All right, that was her job, one of her duties. But in the midst of that, she did become very close with Cassie, to the point where she said they were like sisters. Okay. That's why I know who this person is. I know who it is. Okay, so we're gonna talk about who it is in a minute. Let me see what y'all saying in here. Okay, before I get to that, so then she goes from being this executive assistant to Diddy, to then going on to hold executive roles, including working as an executive at Revolt in film and TV production. All right. I know who this person is. I know who she is. So let's get into it. Y'all want to know who it is? Y'all probably know who it is too, child. Let me see what y'all saying though before we get into who it is, child. Yeah, they was all crying. Lovely one said, "V, they was all crying. Each of them must have been violated." I don't know if all of them were violated. I think they felt a way about Q feeling that he had been violated. So I don't know if that they all were violated. In fact, during that one clip, I was almost wondering if they were on his side till the end when they started crying. So I wish I could play that clip, but I heard Vlad don't be playing, and I think he does copyright his stuff. So I almost don't want to play his shit because that really would be copyright strike, and I ain't got no time for that. Okay. So there's that. Let me see. As an executive assistant, if I had an interview and the executive showed up in his underwear, I would have left. No, I understand. I understand that. I understand that. But I'm telling you, I understand that. I know what I would do now, but at that age and depending upon how hungry you were to be successful and how you were how your self-esteem was set up or your upbringing or whatever, like there's so many factors that can play in why a person might respond differently, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't judge it, but I know that was it would I definitely think it's not smart to stay. I do think that's a fucking red flag, you know what I mean? So I get it completely. Diddy's baby oil. All struck thinking goals when they see those things. Yes, AJ. They're thinking about, oh shit, you know, he's eccentric. Look, I have a friend. Let me see. Can I say it? Yeah, I'll say it. I'll say it. So I had a friend who used to be a personal assistant to Halle Berry, and this was when Halle was married to Eric Benet, and she was on the set. Okay, wait. So she was working on the set of Swordfish with Halle, and during that time when Halle was filming that, it was the movie Swordfish that starred John Travolta, I think, right? Was it John Travolta in that? No. I'm lying. Who was it? Wait, was John Travolta in Swordfish? Clive Owen. Was he in that? Anyway, just know Swordfish, okay? So she's filming Swordfish, and she's married to Eric, and she forgot something at home. So she asked the assistant to go to the house to pick up something that Halle left there. But she told her before she got there, hey, I just want to warn you that Eric likes to walk around the house naked. So if you come in, you see him naked, just know that. Now she got over there, he wasn't naked. But she said she felt so uncomfortable when she got to the house, and she really like tried to quickly run in, get what she needed to get, and get out before she even had to like deal with him or whatever. But anyway, I just say that to say sometimes with folks in that industry, they understand and feel like, okay, you might see anything. Like it would not be normal for me to be at a work event of any sort and see people using drugs openly or having sex openly. Like that kind of shit doesn't happen in the real in our world, the normal world, right? But it does happen over there. And so you almost have to accept that that's something you might have to deal with, and either you can or you can't. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. A Tootsie Roll size do not need underwear. Only Not only a piece of scotch tape, Heifer. Oh my God, lovely one. In middle school, my butt was so big I had to wear boy-sized gym shorts and do my workout with my butt facing the walls. Them tees was already on demon time. Yes, and let me say this. I had to, because I went to Catholic school, and I had to wear shorts under my skirt because them boys was gonna try to lift up your skirt. They was gonna try to feel on you, and even then, that's sexual assault. But you learn like, oh, that's what boys do. You check them in the moment, and then you move on. But we shouldn't have to do that. We should tell authorities, and authorities should take action. But as a child, I was just kind of like, I have to find the way in which to deal with this. When I was working in my 20s and that man was sexually harassing me, I just curved it. I just tried to avoid certain scenarios so I would not be in a situation where he could touch me or anything like that. Anyway, but he was definitely harassing me. Definitely. It's not even a question. Work in Progress says sometimes you become desensitized, and what the world sees as wrong, the victim may not. Exactly. That's true too. Life Ain't Over said my 11-year-old grandniece is very pretty with a cute developing shape. Thank God she has gotten involved in the martial arts. So far, she has a blue belt. Oh, good, good. Go, girl. Get that black belt. Okay. She's gonna be walking around dressed like Dennis. Monica Lewinsky, lovely one, says Monica Lewinsky taught me to keep any proof in a Ziploc bag until you're ready to bring it as proof. And honey, the other thing too, I'll say, I gave her the business too. I gave her the business. And now I see it differently. So I agree. I agree. I agree. I think I know who it is. I think okay, I'm gonna show her a picture here in a second and tell you who it is. You can't say y'all like sisters when you're being paid to watch to keep a watchful eye over her. Now I'm guessing they became like sisters. I wonder, this is what would be the key. When did she tell Cassie that she was hired for that purpose? You know what I'm saying? When did she tell Cassie that hey, I was only being your friend at first because Diddy hired me to do that? Diddy's baby oil said it honestly depended on the money. I don't know. If the pay was pretty good, I may have stayed. Plus, it was a celebrity, but a regular person, I don't know exactly. Yeah, well, see what I mean? See what I mean? Yep. Hey, Prima Wanda. Hey. Let's see. Yes, I had so many issues with boys touching my butt in my teens. The teachers wouldn't even help. Yep. It wasn't even a thing. It wasn't even a thing to tell the teachers per se. And even if you told them, they were going to say, hey, keep your hands to yourself. And that would have been the end of it. And they still going to sneak and do it. So I agree. It was just a different day too. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they would necessarily do that now. I know that they wouldn't. But back then, you just had to learn how to deal with that, and you were groomed, if you will, to know how to deal with it. But it wasn't about filing charges or telling this one and really folks really taking action or folks getting canceled for doing it. It was just what happened, and you were supposed to accept it. Think about all those women that worked over there with Matt Lauer at the Today Show, and he was letting them come into the office, and then he would lock the door with a button from behind his desk and wouldn't let them out, and then he would sexually assault them or sexually harass them right there in his office. And those women continued to, not all of them, but many continued to work with him And yeah, many continue to work with him because you learn as a woman, you just got to deal with it. And if you're a good looking woman, you got problems. And if you're a smart woman, you got problems. And if you got shit, you ain't got to have shit but be a woman. You ain't got to be a woman. I'm just saying. Anybody can get harassed out here in these streets. What you say, lovely one? B, I'm 56 and still wear shorts under my dress. Feeling like Angela Bassett as Mama Jackson in the Jacksons in American Dream. Shut up, girl. Shut up. Hey, CJ. Recently on my trip home to Ohio, I see two younger cousins, twins I hadn't seen in years, a girl and a boy. The girl, a beautiful, developed young lady. Apparently some outward things were said. Really? Interesting. Okay. Oh, shut up. I am not saying that out loud, Diddy's baby. Oh, you nasty. Okay, so here's the person that I believe is victim number 2. Okay. And I don't know how to pronounce her name properly, but her name is Sarah Snednecker or Snednecker. And again, she started out as his assistant. As I mentioned, you see, she's blonde. I'm guessing she got blue eyes. I'm just saying. But you know, that's neither here nor there. Okay. But I think if anybody can bury Diddy, this nigga in America, it could be this blonde, blue-eyed lady. All right. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Do what you do, sis. Do what y'all can do. Use your privilege, honey, to get it. Okay? Because he's scum. He's scum. So get him. All right. So this is a picture with Cassie. Okay. This is her with Cassie being her sister. Okay. Now, let me share this. I found some information on her. And this was an article that was actually in Essence. And Diddy, you know, later after, because I'm not really sure how many years she worked with Diddy. And I'm sure they probably mentioned it during the testimony today, but I'm not sure. I'm not for sure. Hold on. Block. Okay. I'm not for sure if they stated how long she worked for him, but a few years after she worked for him as an executive assistant, she became an actual executive when he started Revolt and went on to develop, you know, some film and television stuff over at Revolt. But in the midst of that, Diddy also was working on creating a sitcom on ABC about her life. Yes, about her life as an assistant working for him. So I got an article that was in Essence that talked about this. Let me share. Okay. So it says Diddy producing ABC sitcom based on the life of his assistant. Just another day in the life of Diddy's assistant. Okay. And there goes the demon right there. All right. That nigga. Okay. So this came out in 2020, by the way, 2020. So that says to me, that he was talking about doing this. This is years after she has gone through her own. I forgot this part. This is the lady, also the assistant that he got mad with over in Europe and left her over there because he was pissed. I want to say he beat her ass. I want to say is she the one that he dangled over a balcony or some shit? Like Big Red from 5 Heartbeats. And after he got into it with her, in Europe. He took her passport and left her in Europe. Now, I don't know how she got home, and I don't know how that got resolved, but he did that. That's how crude and disgusting this mother sucker is. But he did all of that, and she was Cassie's, bestie and like a sister. And Cassie left him in 2018, right? Well, in 2020, he's still was working with Sarah. All right. So, okay, so I'm gonna read the article. It says working for Sean Diddy Combs has its fair share of perks. You get to tag along to some of the hottest events. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna make this bigger. Doo-doo-doo. So even my blind ass can see it. How come it's not changing? Ooh, it's still kind of small for y'all. But anyway, okay. So you get to work for some of the hottest events. You have access to some serious swag, and there's a chance that your life will be turned into a sitcom. Deadline reports that Diddy has signed on to produce a new upcoming ABC sitcom, tentatively titled The Hustle. The comedy based on Diddy's real life assistant, Sarah Snediker. I do not know how to say her last name, y'all, but Sarah, that's what I'm just calling. Follows a small town girl who gets a job with an A-list hip hop mogul. Cue hijinks and laughs. A premiere date has not been set. Obviously, this never came to happen. And yeah, that's it. So it never happened, y'all. But that is her. This is the other thing I'm going to tell you that I noticed about this particular situation. Could y'all hear me? Could y'all hear me, y'all? When I was talking, when I read that, I hope y'all heard me. Yes. My workout would start from 9 to 5. Okay. Yes, honey. He is giving big red energy out here, okay, with his little itty bitty. Okay. So anyway, that is that. Now, this is what I also noticed. This is when you know the government is so powerful, because do you know it was hard as hell to find anything on this lady? Like they scrubbed the internet. I don't care what nobody says, but the FBI scrubbed the hell out of that damn internet, because you could be that. This is like one of only a couple of things that were out here. That there's that one picture. I found 2 pictures of this lady. 2 pictures. Actually, let me put one of them in here. That picture of her and Cassie, and then the other picture. Hold on. And then the other picture is the one I'm about to put in here now. So, and I couldn't find any other articles really on her, but I'm certain that that is her. Okay, you can't make me know otherwise. All right, and eventually it's going to come out, but I don't want to hear that. Oh, I know that I was supposed to look up now. Hold on, let me put this in here so y'all can see. Okay. And actually, I could put that other picture in there too. With her and Cassie. Like, it was hard as hell to find pictures of her and stuff. And there are other women that look similar to her, but are not her, that share her name. Let me put this one in here too, so y'all can see the 2 pictures that I found. Okay, so this is one, right? The one that I just showed you. And then this is a clearer picture of her. Okay. So I don't know if y'all have seen her, but I had seen her before. I knew a little, I didn't know what her role was, but I had seen her before. And that's kind of how I knew. Um, yeah, well, Ray of Sun, actually, I hear you. I hear you, but I don't know how, you know, I don't know. I don't know how they, but my, like I said before, um, why are we, if the logic is we can tell on Gina because Gina didn't come to court, or we can say negative things about her and we can expose who victim number 3 is. I'm not really sure why we can't expose who number 2 is. And I ain't exposing it. I'm just talking about it. And yeah, you know, and it wasn't hard to figure it out, to be quite honest. It wasn't. Now there's still another victim, right? There's 4 victims, 1, 2, 3, and 4. One was Cassie. This is number 2. Number 3 is Gina, and number 4 I do not know. Okay, because I don't have any real identifying information about that person. But that's just, you know. So I hear you and I get it. I too am a survivor. So I get it. I get it. But this person was obviously a public person. Like they gave so many identifying things. She worked as an assistant. She went to work for Revolt as a. I mean, how are you? How was it? I don't know. I don't know. But I hear you, and I respect that. I respect it. So, anywho, whose birthday is it? I see birthday cakes in here. Who's you? Who you? Who's the birthday cakes for? Is there somebody's birthday? Whose birthday is it? Black but not bitter. Black but not bitter. Whose birthday? Is it your birthday, girl? I know it ain't your birthday. Is it? Girl. Huh? Anyway. What you say? She wearing that same hairstyle as Cassie. That's wild. Mm-hmm. She is. Or was. I don't know when that picture was taken. So yeah. So that's that part. Any questions about that? Mm. Okay, hold on, y'all. Because we can move on to the next subject at hand. How y'all feel about that? How y'all feel about this stuff? Hmm. Anything? Anything? Let me drink my lemonade. Oh, I was thirsty. Okay. All right. So let's get into the next piece. What you say? The cakes are for the cake is going to bake you. My birthday's in October. Okay. You're October 24th? My boo thing. Pastor. His birthday is the 25th. Mm-hmm. Hey, Wiz. Wiz, keep your ass in the house. Now, I don't know why this lady got you out at concerts and on the road and whatnot. Okay? I don't know what I'm gonna get her too. I'm gonna get her together, but you sit your ass down somewhere. Okay? You sat down. Sat down. Get some rest. Drink plenty of fluids. I don't know if that helps, but do it anyway. All right? Feel better, Wiz. Smooches. Okay? All right. Wait, what you say? He says you cussing. Who you cussing? He said he's gay. Me too. Okay, I'm a motherfucking gangster too. Okay, okay. Anywho, Tisha K. Okay, anyway. What you say? Be doing it. Whitney, sit down. You better lay low, okay? All right, y'all. Let's get into the next one. V, my big sister who passed away, hers is the 25th of October as well. Oh. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I understand. I understand. Interesting, the 25th, huh? Scorpios. These freakazoids. You know the Scorpios are freaks. I'm just saying. Hey, Prima Wanda. V, you're looking so cute. Love the background. No. Let me tell y'all real quick about this background. So, this ain't my house and this ain't my studio. And honestly, I got it on blur because what you see in the back, like these little squares, are sound panels, and they're not cute. They're just functional to help with the sound in here. Because he records, like he does voiceovers. He's a musician and he's a filmmaker and stuff. So he has this as his studio. So when he was like, Mom, you should come here and you could do your show from, my studio and da 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 da. I just don't like how it looks. So I put it on blur because I don't like it. But it ain't my house, so there's that. Okay. But thank you for saying that because I was like, I don't like it. But, I'm grateful. Diddy's baby oil. Your birthday was Tuesday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy belated birthday, dear Diddy's baby oil and Astroglide. Happy birthday to you. Yay! Diddy's baby oil, were you in here Tuesday? Did I go live? I went live Tuesday. I went live Tuesday. I went live, then me and Nada went live. Did you tell us, Heifer? Get on my damn nerves around here. All right, hit the freaking like button, damn it. Shit. Okay, now let's get into part 2 of our show on today. Okay? That's all I got on Sarah. Yeah. Again, shout out to our girl, the one and only Lexi, the mother sucking law nerd. Okay? Lexi, the mother sucking law nerd. She hooked me up. Okay? And gave me this document. This is a lawsuit that a Jane Doe has submitted to the courts for that freak demon Diddy. Okay? Mm-hmm. Lovely one said Astroglide getting a happy birthday song is crazy work. Oh Lord, here come Miss Principal. Scorpios are the best sign of November, Scorpio. Freaks. Actually, now that I think about it, no. Yeah. Oh my God. I didn't think about it. My baby daddy is a Scorpio too. Show Liz. Pastor and baby daddy. Ain't that? Anywho, all right. Okay. Look at Lexi. Y'all a bunch of freaks. You nasty heifers. Anyway, that's right. Sure is. Prima Wanda, you're June 12th. My mama, but y'all crazy as hell. I say that with love. My mama was Gemini. She crazy as hell. Okay. Bipolar like a mug. She wasn't diagnosed as bipolar, but I swear before the Lord she had to be. Okay. If I were to take a guess, I would say she is. And most of the ones I know are crazy as hell. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just saying. She said, yes, we are. Yeah, Miss Principal says she ain't got 3 kids, but you whores. Okay. Anywho, okay, y'all. Oh, okay. So, all right, so let's get into this lawsuit. I only heard a snippet of this over there at Make It Make Sense. Shout out to Make It Make Sense. Look, I have mentioned pretty consistently the people I watch almost daily for the Diddy updates, and I keep forgetting people. Like I'll name people and forget one this day, and then I'll name the person I forgot and then forget another person. So, Chronicle speaks, Make It Make Sense, Tisa tells, Dennis Byron, and on occasion I watch Armand Wiggins. Those are the places I go to get my Diddy details or to hear, about the goings ons in the trial. That's who I watch. So I suggest, check them all out. But I heard Make It Make Sense read some of this, and that was when I heard about Diddy's itty bitty. Okay. That's when I heard about his itty bitty. So let's get into it. If y'all haven't heard it, is that big enough? I can make it a little bigger, I guess. Can I? Yeah. Is that good? Maybe I'll just at least move down here. How about that? Okay. Does that help? Okay. All right. So let's get into it, shall we? Okay. So plaintiff Jane Doe, by her attorneys, Sack and Sack LLP, complaining of the defendants, respectfully alleges upon information and belief and upon information that is readily accessible to the general public. Number 1, how come? Don't start this bull crappy. Oh, not today. Okay, what is wrong with me and geez, y'all. Come on. How am I? Y'all, you got to be kidding. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna have to make a smaller child just so we can get some of it. How come I can't get this to scroll down? Oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Okay, I cannot. All right. It says defendant Sean Combs is a music producer and business mogul with residences in New York, Los Angeles, Miami, and other locations, who currently is the subject of dozens of lawsuits, as well as a criminal investigation over his, among other crimes, abuse, assault, coercion, and intimidation of women, including the plaintiff, which have occurred over many years, involving numerous victims, which also were funded, facilitated, and perpetuated. Let me see. Hold on. Let me unshare and share again, because I don't understand what's going on here. Hold on. Yeah, maybe if I do this. Hold on, y'all. I apologize for this. I'm not sure why I can't get this to do. What I need to do. Ugh. Well, this is ugly. Okay, this ain't work, y'all. Damn it. Hold on. Hold on. Trying to open it up in a different format. Hopefully this works. Oh, hold on, y'all. I got to do a verification. Hold on. You know the technology gods be coming from my throat. They be coming from my throat. I swivel for the child. Come on. Come on. Oh my God. How many times I got to verify? This is the third time. Okay, come on. Let's get it. Child, I'm glad I got all this security and stuff on my stuff, but you know, it gets so annoying at times. Trying to open it up in a different thing, y'all. Okay, so I think this should work for our yes. Yes. You see how God is. He did that. Okay, let me make it bigger. Make sure it'll scroll up and down. Yes. Okay, God. Thank you, Jesus. Won't he do it? Okay, the devil won't win today. Oh no, he won't, baby. All right, so let me I'll make it bigger. Yes, I don't even know this system that I just signed up for, but anyway. Okay. So again, this is the Supreme Court of the State of New York, County of New York, Jane Doe versus Sean Combs. All right. So, all right. So again, the defendant, Sean Combs, is a music producer and business mogul with residences in New York, Los Angeles, Miami, and other locations, who currently is the subject of dozens of lawsuits, as well as a criminal investigation over his, among other crimes, abuse, assault, coercion, and intimidation of women, including the plaintiff, which have occurred over many years, involving numerous victims, which also were funded, facilitated, and perpetuated by his associates, employees, and his various companies: Sean Combs LLC, Bad Boy Records, Bad Boy Entertainment LLC, Combs Enterprises LLC, Doe Communications 1 through 10, and Doe Defendants 11 through 20, Bad Boy entities. Presently, Combs is in jail awaiting criminal trial on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering, among other things. Let me just say when this document is the date on here. So this was stamped May 14th and received, it shows stamped received the 22nd of May. Okay. Okay. Number 3, plaintiff Jane Doe works in sales and is a wife and mother who resides in the state of New York. Number 4, the allegations against the defendants herein began in May 2001 and continued through July 2001. So this is only for 2 months. Number 5, at all times material to this cause of action, plaintiff Jane Doe was and still is a resident of the state of New York. Plaintiff Jane Doe is an adult over the age of 18 and younger than the age of 55. Defendant Combs, upon information and belief, resides within the state of California. Defendant Bad Boy Records is a music, media, and entertainment company founded by defendant Combs that operates in the state of New York. Defendant Bad Boy Entertainment LLC is a music, media, and entertainment company founded by defendant Combs, which includes the record label Bad Boy Records. The Bad Boy Entertainment LLC is a domestic corporation organized and operating under the rules and laws of the state of New York. Defendant Bad Boy Entertainment LLC does business under the name Bad Boy Records. Defendant Combs Enterprises LLC is a New York corporation. And upon information and belief, Defendant Combs Enterprises LLC is a parent company to Defendants Bad Boy Entertainment LLC and Bad Boy Records LLC and Bad Boy Entertainment Inc. Okay, Inc. As alleged herein, and employs, directs, or controls the actions and omissions of the co-defendants herein. Okay. At all pertinent times, Defendant Doe Corporation's true name, being fictitious and unknown, are corporations and other corporate entities which are part of the Sean Combs Bad Boy family of corporations, excuse me, and which funded, facilitated, employed, and controlled the named defendants and others in their wrongful actions committed against the plaintiff. At all pertinent times, Defendant Jane Doe, true name being fictitious and unknown, are individuals which are part of Sean Combs' Bad Boy organizations, Defendants Bad Boy Entertainment LLC and Bad Boy Records LLC, and Bad Boy Entertainment Inc., committed wrongful actions against the plaintiff and or facilitated, aided, or funded those actions. Okay, so here are the facts. Now, mind you, let me just tell y'all, this document is 22 pages, so y'all know. So I'm gonna try and get through all of it. Okay, y'all with me? We here? Here, I'll make it. Let me move myself down here so y'all can see what y'all need to see. Okay. All right. Oops. Let me. Bloop. Come on. Get that out of here. Come on. Get that out of here. Dismiss all. Okay. All right. Good. All right. Jesus. Okay. So here are the facts relevant to all causes of action. This is an action for injuries and damages suffered by plaintiff Jane Doe as a direct and proximate result of the defendant's wrongful conduct, began in May of 2001 and continued through July of 2001. Plaintiff Jane Doe first met defendant Combs in May 2001 in an elevator in the building which housed the law firm Groupman Indersky, located at 157 West 57th Street, New York, New York. Defendant Combs looked plaintiff Jane Doe, who was present with three of her friends, up and down, and while staring at her, asked, "Any chance you guys want to come to a party tonight?" Already sounds suspect, Joe. Hey, Queen Black. Later that day, I'm sorry. Defendant Combs proceeded to ask plaintiff Jane Doe for her phone number, which she provided to him. Later that day, defendant Combs called plaintiff Jane Doe, said, "We are going to a club tonight," and requested her name and the names of her friends for the guest list. Plaintiff Jane Doe observed defendant Combs' phone number, and she lists the number. And the only reason why I'm not even trying to redact that is because I'm sure that number has changed. Okay. But I bet they were able to verify that to be one of his numbers. Okay. That evening at approximately 11 p.m., plaintiff Jane Doe and her friends arrived at the location provided by defendant Combs. Plaintiff's first night out with defendant Combs. Upon arriving at the club, plaintiff Jane Doe provided her name and was ushered into the VIP section of the club where defendant Combs was seated at a table. Plaintiff Jane Doe joined defendant Combs and began to have a conversation with him. All right. Y'all with me? Okay. We're already on page 5. See how we moving? Okay. During the conversation, defendant Combs abruptly said, "You're very well manicured. You really keep yourself together. I like your nails and toes." You're very well manicured. Like, I hope so. Anyway, did y'all hit the like button though? You ain't gotta like this shit, but could you like me since y'all here? Thank you. Okay. Plaintiff Jane Doe accepted the compliment and the two continued talking and drinking. The night ended without incident. This was the first step in defendant Combs's well-worn scheme to groom plaintiff Jane Doe. All right, the plaintiff's second night out with defendant Combs. 2 days later, defendant Combs called plaintiff Jane Doe again and asked her to meet him at his studio. Plaintiff Jane Doe accepted the invitation, and she, along with two of her friends, arrived at Bad Boy Records, located on the west side of Manhattan. They took a photo to memorialize the evening. Okay, so it's giving Snow Bunny tease. It's giving Snow Bunny. Just saying. I don't know which one she is. Which one y'all think she is? I'm thinking she's the one with the dress on the right. What y'all think? So let's say the first number 1 is to the left, 2 is in the middle, and 3 is on the right. Put what number you think this lady is. Actually, I'm gonna can I go pour me some more lemonade, y'all, and I'll be right back. Okay. Tell me which one y'all think she is. 1, 2, or 3. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry, I'm back. Okay, I only see one person put a number in here. Lexi the law nerd, the only one that cares about what the hell I'm asking. Y'all, do y'all think she's 1, 2, or 3? Man. Huh? Is she 1, 2, or 3? Hey, Bella. Lexi the law nerd is telling Bella, a lady who is anonymously suing. Oh, she's asking who it is. Miss Lorraine. Huh? Miss Lorraine. Miss Lorraine put 1, 2, and 3. Well, that might be some truth to this. We're going to find out here in a minute, okay? All right. So, okay, let's get into it. Hold on. Let me whip my whistle. Y'all remember that song? Just Natalie said 3. I think it's 3 too. Okay, I do. I think it's 3. Prima Wanda, thank you so much for the cash app. Thank you, boo. Queen Black, you agreeing with Miss Lorraine? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I'm so thirsty. Oh my God. Okay, I think she's 3. I don't know. I just do. Okay, so plaintiff Jane Doe and her friends were led upstairs by physically large bodyguards and into a room that contained a pool table, a bar filled with alcohol, and music equipment. After a few minutes, Defendant Combs entered the room. Defendant Combs, plaintiff Jane Doe, and her friends and others hung out for some time at the studio before leaving to go to a club. Defendant Combs arranged for them to be transported to the club in one of his black SUVs. At least 6 people were present in the vehicle, at least half of whom were large bodyguards. During the car ride, just made that up, Jesus. Excuse me. Hey, Ducky Dexter. Excuse me. Yes, wet my whistle. Dun, dun. Who sang that? Just a little bit. It's much too much. Who sings that, y'all? I know Black but not bitter knows. Wet my whistle. I can't think. Anyway. Okay. Midnight Star. Okay, tell me that part. Thank you. Tell me that part. Okay. Wait, the Whispers? I think, is it Midnight Star? Which one is it? I'm actually beginning to think it was the Whispers. It's Midnight Star? Wet my whistle. Midnight Star. Just a little bit, baby. Okay, that's the jam. Oh, they supposed to. Well, never mind. Okay. Listen, not the Whispers. It's giving Whispers vibes, but yeah, it's black. It is Midnight Star. Okay. All right. Okay, so the defendant Combs arranged for them to be transported. It's 6 people in the car, and half are very large bodyguards. Okay. All right. Now, during the car ride, defendant Combs leaned over and attempted to kiss plaintiff Jane Doe. Plaintiff Jane Doe physically moved to avoid defendant Combs' effort to kiss her and forcefully stated, "Whoa, I didn't say you could do that." Okay, girl. And glanced at the men seated in the front of the vehicle. In response, defendant Combs followed plaintiff Jane Doe's line of sight, saw that she was looking at his bodyguards and driver, and yelled, "They work for me. I pay them. They are not going to ever turn around." That's intimidating. That's intimidating right there. That already makes me uncomfortable. So anyway, defendant Combs, I'm sorry, immediately, because that just bothered me. Okay, I'm sorry. Immediately, one of the male bodyguards he was referring to turned around and looked at plaintiff Jane Doe and defendant Combs. Defendant Combs immediately began yelling and cursing at the male bodyguard for embarrassing. Nigga, don't tell me I ain't gonna turn around. I'll turn around the fuck I want to. This my motherfucking neck. Okay? I'll whip your motherfucking ass. Okay, I'm just saying. Oh, look, see? So y'all both kind of right. Y'all both, okay, Black but Not Bitter on the side note, y'all. Black but Not Bitter said Midnight Star, who also wrote For the Whispers. So that's why it has that sort of vibe to it. So, I mean, you weren't right, but it makes sense that you could say the Whispers because the sound. Okay. Got it. Okay. Yes, curious. Yes. Okay. All right. Who that's so funny though about this. Diddy getting embarrassed. All right. The vehicle arrived at the club and everyone exited the vehicle. Plaintiff Jane Doe and her friends followed defendant Combs and his entourage of bodyguards into the club. All right. The night ended without further incident. Again, part of defendant Combs' sick scheme to groom the plaintiff into thinking it was safe to be around him. Now, the plaintiff's third night out with defendant Combs. In July 2001, defendant Combs contacted plaintiff Jane Doe and requested that she come to his studio again. Plaintiff Jane Doe agreed and along with a friend went to Bad Boy Records studio in Manhattan. Let me tell you this, that was always my MO too. I was always going, I ain't going nowhere with you alone. I'm going with a friend. We leaving together. We came together. We leave together. You watch my drink. I watch your drink. We ain't leaving no drinks unwatched. Like there was rules to this shit. You hear me? Mm-hmm. We ain't doing none of that. So I commend her for making sure she had her people with her all the time. All right. So plaintiff Jane Doe, her friend, defendant Combs, and several employees and members of his entourage spent time at defendant Combs' recording studio before deciding to go to a club. Plaintiff Jane Doe, her friend, defendant Combs, and members of his entourage entered one of his black SUVs and drove to the club. While at the club, there was sudden commotion, and defendant Combs' bodyguards rushed plaintiff Jane Doe, her friend, and defendant Combs out of the club into defendant Combs' vehicle. Defendant Combs' driver drove them to the restaurant cafeteria located at 119 7th Avenue in New York City. After arriving at the restaurant, plaintiff Jane Doe and her friends secretly decided they were ready to leave and chose to do so without warning and without informing defendant Combs. When defendant Combs realized the women had left rather than just gone to the restroom or stepped outside for a moment, he called plaintiff Jane Doe and began berating her on the phone, screaming, "Do you know who I am? No one does that to me. You can't just do that to me." Motherfucker, that would have been the last time we talked. Now that right there, you know how look, I told y'all. As soon as a nigga says to me, "Do you know who I am?" The fuck? Do you know who I am? The hell? What the fuck is you talking about? I told you that when the heavyweight champion of the world hit me with the, "Do you know who?" As a matter of fact, He hit me with the, do you know who I am? I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. People, you don't do that to me or something, some shit like that. Now you done got done up again because I'm gonna embarrass you again. I'm not doing it. I don't like that. You know, these motherfuckers is crazy. Now anyway, I don't know how I would respond to certain things when I was in my early 20s, but this thing I can verify. It's been proven. Okay. I would have left his ass right there. We wouldn't have talked no more. Seriously. Anyway. In an effort to calm defendant Combs down, plaintiff Jane Doe said that her friend didn't feel well, and that is the reason they had left. Fuck that. I ain't got to tell you why I left. I just left, nigga. Ducky Dexter said, me too, V. We came together. We leave together. Call it blocking if you want to, but nobody I'm with is ending up in a trunk. Either we both in the trunk or we both not in the trunk, right? We came together, we leaving together, and we gonna do this little routine until I feel fucking comfortable about being with you alone. I'm just saying, honey. What you say, Queen Black? I remember when our mayor said that to me. I said, what? You said, what you say? I said so. I said so. Is that what you said? Girl, not the mayor though, Queen Black. Not the mayor, lovely one. I know what you ain't nowhere in my life. Goodbye. Say, I don't know who you are, but I know what you ain't. And that's in my life. Okay. Diddy's Baby Oil said, I say, no, I don't know. I don't know who you are. It pisses them off so bad. No, I don't know who are you? Miss Principal said, that's why I never cared to meet celebrities, because baby, I don't care who you are. N-word, if you ever, I bet, okay? Period. On period. Diddy's Baby Oil said, because do you you not know what the fuck I am? That's what I'm saying. I don't give a fuck do you know who I am? See, here's the thing. Nobody's going to make me feel a way about who they are. Because the truth is, no matter who you are, apparently you think I'm somebody because you're trying to be in my orbit. So this, do you know who I am, as if who you are is better and bigger than who I am, is a joke. Because if I'm not all that, why are you trying to be in my orbit? See, I'm trying to match who I am. I'm going to attract who I am. So if I'm so awesome and great, I expect you to be so awesome and great too, because I want to share time with you. Same goes the opposite direction. It doesn't matter how much money you make, what your talent is, who you know, what position you hold. At the end of the day, if you want me in your orbit, it ain't gonna happen unless I want you in mine. And if you want to be in mine, that must say a little something about how you see me, regardless of what comes out your mouth. I'm checking on what you do. Anyway, oh, not Mayor Adams. I hope it wasn't Mayor Adams, girl. Just Nikki, I'm late. Hey V, hey everyone. Hey, just Nikki. Ciao. What'd you say, Prima Wanda? My mom would always tell my friends and I that she would also tell me to put a note in my top drawer in college as to where I was going. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the other thing. I never went anywhere without people knowing somebody knew where the hell I was going. Yep, that's true. Even when I would sneak out of town, I ain't gonna lie. There were times I snuck out of town. when I was in college or whatever, and I sneak away for the weekend, wouldn't tell my mom or anything, I would tell my daddy. My daddy would know. So if by chance something crazy did happen, my daddy knew. Okay. Because I could tell my daddy any damn thing. Anything. Okay. I could. Anywho, let's get back to this. All right. So so they went to the club. She and the one friend decided to leave. They didn't tell Diddy. Diddy's pissed. And they talk, and she lies and said her friend was sick, and that's why she left. Okay, so weeks passed, and defendant Combs did not reach out to plaintiff Jane Doe. Plaintiff Jane Doe forgot about defendant Combs's anger after their last interaction. Oh, so what are you about to tell me, Jane Doe? Did you call him? Okay. Plaintiff Jane Doe's fourth and final night with defendant Combs. Defendant Combs grapes plaintiff Jane Doe. On or about July 31st of 2001, defendant Combs called plaintiff Jane Doe and asked her if she wanted to go to Bowery Ballroom to see performing artist Mos Def perform. Oh, I love Mos Def. Plaintiff Jane Doe agreed and asked if she could bring a friend. Defendant Combs agreed and told plaintiff Jane Doe that her and her friend should meet him at the Bad Boy Records studio in Manhattan. Jesus. Plaintiff Jane Doe and her friend arrived at the studio and waited briefly before defendant Combs stated that it was time to go. Unlike with previous interactions, this time defendant Combs told plaintiff Jane Doe and her friend to enter a tour bus. The two women entered the tour bus and found themselves surrounded by 8 to 10 large, imposing men. They felt extremely uncomfortable. Then I would have unfelt uncomfortable because I don't think I would have been there, because just the way in which he acted, like, do you know who I am? That bullshit. I don't get it. So on the floor of the tour bus, plaintiff Jane Doe and her friend observed opened condom wrappers, used condoms, and women's underwear just randomly on the floor. Mm-mm. First of all, why are you on the tour bus? I've been on a tour bus, but I was touring with him, not touring like a performer. My man was a performer, right? So I went on tour with them a couple times, 2-3 times. But I've never gotten on a tour bus of anybody else. Nobody else's tour bus, only his tour bus. Let me think about it. Yeah. The only tour bus. In fact, I'd heard things about being on tour buses, so I wouldn't have gotten on the tour bus. And as soon as I would have gotten on the tour bus and saw so many men, I think I would have found it an excuse to step off, even if I just led them to believe I was stepping off for a minute. Jesus. Okay. That's too much. Okay. The tour bus arrived at Bowery Ballroom, and the occupants exited the bus and entered the location. Upon entering, defendant Combs, plaintiff Jane Doe, her friend, and defendant Combs' entourage were brought to a private area in the balcony to watch the show. Yeah, I think if we'd have made it there, I don't know. I wouldn't have gotten on that tour bus again. I don't. Plaintiff Jane Doe noted that defendant Combs did not appear to be as friendly or jovial as in their past interactions. Another sign, another red flag. That's like what, the fourth red flag now? Good God. Defendant Combs and his entourage brought drinks to plaintiff Jane Doe and her friend, which they consumed. No, I'm going to drink a soda, a pop that I watch get opened. Okay. Defendant Combs' entourage also began smoking marijuana and blowing smoke in the faces of plaintiff Jane Doe and her friend. After about 40 minutes, plaintiff Jane Doe's friend asked her if she felt weird, and plaintiff Jane Doe confirmed that she did. Plaintiff Jane Doe further noted that she felt weak in her arms and legs and unsteady on her feet. She even needed to hold on to a banister when they were descending stairs to leave. The two women further discussed whether or not they had physically ever felt that way before, and both agreed they had not. They believed it was possible and probable that their weakened physical state was a result of consuming an alcoholic beverage spiked with illegal drugs. Almost simultaneously, a spotlight was shown on defendant Combs, and his presence was made known to the concert goers. As soon as the spotlight was removed from defendant Combs, he said it was time to leave. Defendant Combs, plaintiff Jane Doe, her friend, and 2 to 3 other people left the Bowery Ballroom and entered a black SUV, not the tour bus they arrived in. Plaintiff Jane Doe asked if she and her friend could be driven to her Upper East Side apartment. Oh, Lord. Now he got to know where y'all live. Defendant Combs said that he would take her home, but that he needed to stop at his New York City apartment first. It's getting worse. Another red flag. Defendant Combs' driver drove to defendant Combs' home, which was located at 807 Park Avenue on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Defendant Combs exited the vehicle, grabbed plaintiff Jane Doe's hand, and said, "Come with me real quick." Plaintiff Jane Doe exited the vehicle and followed defendant Combs inside his home. Now, mind you, let me just stop for a second. At this time, he's heavy with Kim Porter at this time, right? Yeah. Wait, 2001. When was the J-Lo era? Let's see. When did Diddy was that the 90s? Date, let me see, Kim Porter. I'm just saying that. From 94 to 2007. Okay. When did he date J-Lo? '88 to 2001. Oh, God. So Kim Porter, I mean, I understand that he says Kim is his queen and everything, but he played her just like he played Cassie when it came to J-Lo. Says J-Lo dated him 99 to 2001. But he dated Kim Porter. What did I say? 90 what? Hold on. 94 to 2007. So they overlapped. So just like when Cassie felt like Kim Porter was that chick, he kind of played J-Lo. I mean, he kind of played Kim Porter like J-Lo was that chick. I'm sure that made her uncomfortable. We know how he played her to the public when he did that interview with, was like I said, it was either Essence or Ebony, where they were talking. This was right after the twins were born. So anyway, hey, how do you say that? Hey, make it rain. Okay. Wait. All right. So defendant Combs forcefully led plaintiff Jane Doe to his bedroom and said, I want to show you my bedroom. Nah, nigga, no, no, no. Oh, no, you don't. I don't need to see it. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope. Anyway. After plaintiff Jane Doe and defendant Combs entered his bedroom, defendant Combs locked the door. It done went bad fast. When defendant Combs turned around to face plaintiff Jane Doe after locking the door, his face was distorted, and he angrily said, I don't think you know who I am. People don't do that to me. He's still mad? Fuck. Allegedly. All of this is alleged. I don't know these people. Okay? This is... Okay? I don't know these people. This is all alleged. Okay? Anywho. Defendant Combs pushed plaintiff Jane Doe down onto the bed on her back, put his hand around her throat, and said, I'm going to suck the life out of you. Red mother sucking flag. Sheesh. That's okay. We going okay. Oh my God, I would be scared. Defendant Combs released plaintiff Jane Doe's neck and then held her arm down while using his other hand to swiftly unbuckle his belt and pants before pulling out his erect bearskin peen, which appeared to be the length and girth of a large Tootsie Roll, and she thought it made sense to, attach a picture as an exhibit, I guess. Okay, let me read that one again. Defendant Combs released plaintiff Jane Doe's neck and then held her arm down while using his other hand to swiftly unbuckle his belt and pants before pulling out his little itty bitty bearskin peen, which appeared to be the length and the girth of a large Tootsie Roll. My God, today. Do you have any comments? Should we take a pause really quickly? Let's have a moment of silence for said Tootsie Roll peen. Okay. Miss Principal, I can't even bring up a Tootsie Roll now and not think of Diddy. Okay. Miss Principal said, laughed my ass off. I'll never look at a Tootsie Roll the same. It's hard. It's hard. The court, lovely one, the court boldly adding an image of a Tootsie Roll took me out, and his 3 daughters saw it. Jesus. Okay. Plaintiff Jane Doe recalls feeling relieved. Now, I didn't want to say it because people are going to think I'm just being crude or insensitive, and it's not my intention. But I was going to say that if someone was going to take advantage of me like that, I would prefer that it be a Tootsie Roll. If it had to, I mean, you know, you don't want that to happen to nobody, right? You don't want it to happen. But if it was going to happen, I would prefer a Tootsie Roll. Okay. Did y'all hit the like button? Not for the Tootsie Roll, but okay. Plaintiff Jane Doe recalls feeling relieved when she saw defendant Combs's itty bit, is his little thing, because she knew it wouldn't hurt as much. That's what I'm saying. Look, I'm saying the same thing. I'm saying that too. I ain't trying to be insensitive. I'm just saying that I wouldn't want it to happen at all. But if it was gonna happen, I would just prefer. Anyway, again, let me try this again. Plaintiff Jane Doe recalls feeling relieved when she saw defendants thing because she knew it wouldn't hurt as much when he graped her due to the lack of length and girth. Okay. She thought his thing was an itty bitty ditty. She looked at it. She saw it reminded her of a Tootsie Roll. And she thought to herself, he has an itty bitty ditty. Plaintiff Jane Doe screamed, "Get off of me, stop!" And no, I don't want to do this, which I get it. Defendant Combs ignored Plaintiff Jane Doe's pleas, slid her underwear to the side, and forcefully engaged in vag whoopee. Okay. With her, wait, I think they meant to say without her consent and against her will. Plaintiff Jane Doe repeatedly yelled, "Please stop. I don't want this," and tried to kick defendant Combs. However, she was weak and physically significantly smaller than defendant Combs and was unable to push him off of her. Plaintiff Jane Doe's 5'2", 105-pound frame was no match against defendant Combs's 5'10", 180-pound frame. Defendant Combs did not stop penetrating Plaintiff Jane Doe until he was close to climax. And defendant Combs removed his penis from Plaintiff Jane Doe's vag and then eject onto Plaintiff Jane Doe's person. Then defendant Combs backed away from Plaintiff Jane Doe. Plaintiff Jane Doe slid off of the bed and went to the bathroom inside of the bathroom and wiped defendant Combs's semen off of her. When Plaintiff Jane Doe exited the bathroom, defendant Combs was completely naked and now laying in the bed. Not in the bed. Jane Doe ran for the door and unlocked it. Outside of the bedroom door stood a bodyguard. Wow. Now, see, after I heard about Itty B, I definitely I stopped at that point. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm sorry. One second. I'm so sorry, y'all. Okay. I apologize. All right, so here's the thing. So they're saying when Jane Doe ran for the door and unlocked it, there's a bodyguard right outside the door. The bodyguard is standing there. Hey, Miss Lady. Hold on. Let me see. Lexi Laudner said, after reading that description of her, maybe she is the one in the dress then. Yeah, I think she's the one in the dress. Well, I think she's the one in the dress, but you know, that was on the first night they went out. And we don't have a picture from this particular night, but I do kind of feel like that's her probably in the dress. But what I was going to say is with the bodyguard being right outside the door, that goes in alignment with what we've been hearing. These bodyguards, people know what he's doing. They're right. They're hearing it happen. Sometimes they are seeing it happen. And these disgusting pieces of shit men allow it to happen. If it is not worth keeping my job to sit and listen to someone be violated. They literally sat by and watched this man beat on women and take them and essay women. They watched it. They helped him do it. If going and stopping him from doing something like that, because he's a coward for doing that shit. If stopping him from doing that means I'm going to lose my job, then I don't need to work there. That is absolutely the clearest example of all money ain't good money. All money ain't good money. And I understand some of them could have been scared. They would have to have some extenuating circumstances in their life for me to understand why they would continue to stand by and let that shit happen. Ain't no way. They're sick. Okay. All right. So plaintiff Jane Doe asked the bodyguard which way was the exit, and he gestured downstairs. Plaintiff Jane Doe exited defendant Combs's home and re-entered the black SUV waiting outside. Plaintiff Jane Doe's friend, the driver, and 2 additional employees of defendant Combs were inside of the vehicle. The driver of the black SUV drove plaintiff Jane Doe and her friend to plaintiff Jane Doe's apartment in Manhattan. Approximately 2 days later, defendant Combs called plaintiff Jane Doe's phone. Plaintiff Jane Doe did not answer his calls. Defendant Combs called plaintiff Jane Doe on several more occasions. Plaintiff Jane Doe never answered any of the calls. Defendant Combs left plaintiff Jane Doe a voicemail inviting her to one of his well-known white parties. Plaintiff Jane Doe did not respond to the invitation and did not attend the party. Following plaintiff Jane Doe's SA by defendant Combs, she experienced trouble being vulnerable and alone with men. Plaintiff Jane Doe became withdrawn and was a shell of a person. Approximately 1 year after the events that occurred on July 31st, 2001, plaintiff Jane Doe began psychotherapy to finally confront and address the trauma she had experienced. Plaintiff Jane Doe attended therapy sessions every week for approximately 6 months before she was ready to move on with her life. After completing therapy, plaintiff Jane Doe was able to share her experience with her family and friends, including the friend she was with the night of her assault. In recounting the essay to her friend, plaintiff remarked that he was an itty bitty ditty. Okay. Accordingly, plaintiff Jane Doe has suffered physical abuse, emotional abuse, trauma, injury, and psychological damage as a result of the defendant's intentional, negligent, and criminal actions. Okay. Any questions? That's what had happened. All right. That's what had happened. Hit the like button, please. And thank you. Okay, I just want to make sure I ain't missing nothing. It's a damn shame, isn't it? CJ said they're listening to make sure he wasn't getting his ass kicked. That's all it was, to protect Diddy. I would have dotted his eye quickly. We'd be boxing. I might not win, but you gon' I'm clock. Yeah. You're gonna have some proof that I was here, make you think again about coming towards me. Yeah. It's sad. It's sad. Actually, he's sick. He is sick. Now, here's the thing. She hasn't mentioned, and we'll get into this, I guess, but she didn't mention that she went to, and this is not a dig at her. Please know this, because a lot of women, for whatever reason, don't report this stuff. But I wonder if she kept anything at all from that night. But it doesn't seem like she did. She didn't go get she didn't report, it doesn't sound like, and she didn't go have a essay kit done. And I'm not judging her for not doing those things. I'm just saying I wish she had, you know what I mean? But I get why you don't. So there's that. So anyway, okay. So let's talk about first cause of action. All right. Just so you know, I think we're on page 14. Okay. All right. Y'all with me? Okay. First cause of action, violation of the Gender Motivated Violence Act, New York City admin. Okay. Ooh, excuse me. All right. Plaintiff incorporates the allegations within all prior paragraphs within this complaint as if they were fully set forth herein. Plaintiff repeats and realleges each and every allegation in all of the preceding paragraphs as if fully set forth herein. The above described conduct of defendant Combs, including but not limited to defendant Combs's physical and sexual, SA, harassment and unlawful imprisonment of plaintiff in New York City constitutes a crime of violence against plaintiff and is a crime of violence motivated by gender, as defined by Section 10-1103 of the New York City VGMVPL. The term crime of violence means an act or series of acts that would constitute misdemeanor or felony against the person as defined in state or federal law if the conduct presents a serious risk of physical injury to another. whether or not those acts have actually resulted in criminal charges, prosecution, or conviction. And the term crime of violence motivated by gender means a crime of violence committed because of gender or on the basis of gender and due, at least in part, to an animus based on the victim's gender. You know what this has me thinking about, though? Well, we'll talk about it at the end. We'll talk about it at the end. The above described conduct of defendant Combs, including but not limited to sexual assault, physical assault, threats, and false imprisonment, all conduct proscribed by whatever, okay, those sections, constitutes a crime of violence against plaintiff and is a crime of violence motivated by gender. Defendants Sean Combs LLC and all bad boy entities and others have financially and otherwise benefited from these acts and omissions by keeping defendant Combs, the volatile and explosive owner of Bad Boy Records, satisfied and benefited from facilitating his behavior. Specifically, co-defendants enabled, condoned, had knowledge of, and failed to act to prevent or mitigate defendant Combs's commission of the above mentioned crimes of violence motivated by gender and are therefore also liable under the VGM VPL. Pursuant to this particular ordinance, I guess, this cause of action is timely because it is commenced within 2 years and 6 months after September 1st, 2022. As a direct and approximate result of the above mentioned crimes of violence and gender motivated violence, plaintiff has sustained and will continue to sustain monetary damages and or economic harm, physical injury, pain and suffering, and serious psychological and emotional distress, entitling her to an award of compensatory and punitive damages, injunctive and declaratory relief, attorney's fees and costs, and other remedies as this court may deem appropriate as set forth in 10-1104. Plaintiff seeks actual damages, punitive damages as allowed by the law, attorney's fees, costs, and or in alternative to actual damages and statutory damages. Okay. The second cause of action, the SA and sexual harassment against Sean Combs. Plaintiff incorporates the allegations within all prior paragraphs within this complaint as if they were fully set forth there herein. As described herein, defendant Combs frightened and placed plaintiff in apprehension of harm when he forced plaintiff to engage in a sexual act without her consent in defendant Combs's home in New York, New York, as described herein. Defendant Combs used illicit drugs and alcohol to compel plaintiff into engaging in these acts without her consent. As a result of defendant Combs's conduct, the plaintiff has suffered and continues to suffer harm, including physical injury, severe emotional distress, humiliation, anxiety, and other consequential damages for which she is entitled to an award of monetary damages and other relief. Defendant Combs's conduct described herein was willful, wanton, and malicious. At all relevant times, defendant Combs acted with conscious disregard for plaintiff's rights and feelings, acted with the knowledge of or with reckless disregard for the fact that his conduct was sure to cause injury and or humiliation to plaintiff and intended to cause fear, physical injury, and or pain and suffering to plaintiff. Plaintiff believes defendant Combs acted with conscious disregard for plaintiff's rights and feelings, acted with the knowledge of or with reckless disregard for the fact that his conduct was sure to cause injury and or humiliation to plaintiff due to plaintiff's gender. By virtue of the foregoing, plaintiff is entitled to recover punitive damages. Here's the third cause of action. Y'all with me? Make sure y'all with me. Is y'all with me? Okay. All right. Third cause of action, negligent infliction of emotional distress against all defendants. Plaintiff incorporates the allegations within all prior paragraphs within this complaint as if they were fully set forth herein. Oh, Lord. Okay. Defendants created an unreasonable risk of causing emotional distress to plaintiff, and defendants knew or should have known that such conduct was likely to result in emotional distress that might or likely would cause illness or bodily harm. Defendants knew at the time that they made their misrepresentations and omissions that they were false. Plaintiff's emotional distress was foreseeable to defendants by reason of their reliance on defendants' misrepresentation and omissions of material fact. Plaintiff and its residents suffered actual pecuniary damage. I'm not sure. I've never heard that word before. Pecuniary. Let me look that up, child. Pecuniary. Compuniary. What is that? Relating to or consisting of money. Pecuniary. So pecuniary. Pecuniary. Money. I don't know communiary. Okay. It's money. It's the money. Okay. What just happened? Prima Wanda, Prudence S is Prima Wanda for the membership. Oh, okay. Thank you, Prudence S. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the cash app. You're doing a lot, sis. Jeez, what you say? I'm gonna give to her everywhere I can give to her. Thank you, Prima Wanda. Thank you so much. Oh, you're so funny. Okay. All right. Okay, where am I? Okay. So we're talking about the money. The money, honey. As a direct and proximate result of the negligent conduct of defendant Combs, plaintiffs suffered and will continue to suffer severe emotional distress. As a direct and proximate result of the above negligence, plaintiff has sustained and will continue to sustain monetary damages and or economic harm, physical injury, pain and suffering, and serious psychological and emotional distress, entitling her to an award of compensatory and punitive damages, injunctive and declaratory relief, attorney's fees and costs, and other remedies as the court may deem appropriate. Plaintiff seeks actual damages, punitive damages as allowed by the law, and attorney's fees, costs, and or in the alternative to actual damages and statutory damages. Mr. Vaughn, you over here trying to are you trying to mock me? I'm just learning this motherfucking word, okay? Pecuniary, right? Pecuniary. I think that's it. Pecuniary, Mr. Vaughn. Don't be trying to put me on Front Street, child. So pecuniary damage equals any loss that can be measured in financial or monetary terms. Thank you, Lunar Brain Fireheart. Thank you so much. Don't be fucking with me, Miss Duval, okay? Shit. The hell? I ain't shame. I didn't know the fucking word. Oh, God. Anyway, all right. Fourth cause of action, intentional infliction of emotional distress against Sean Combs. All right, plaintiff incorporates the allegations within all prior paragraphs within this complaint as if they were fully set forth herein. And defendant Combs engaged in conduct towards plaintiff that is extreme and outrageous to exceed the bounds of decency in a civilized society, namely by inter alia, subjecting her to SA and misconduct. I keep almost saying these words. The SA and misconduct by defendant Combs were extreme and outrageous conduct that shocks the conscience. These actions were taken with the intent to cause or disregard for the substantial probability of causing severe emotional distress. As a direct and proximate result of defendant Combs's extreme and outrageous conduct, plaintiff has suffered severe emotional distress. Defendant Combs' conduct was wanton, malicious, willful, and or cruel, entitling the plaintiff to punitive damages. All right, fifth cause of action. Assault under New York law against all defendants. I know that's right. Mr. Vall said, I just want that devil back in hell. Me too. And use all the snow bunnies you can, because that's what they're getting. Okay. I don't care about any of these snow bunnies that come out here and say that this man did what they say he did. I don't know if he did it all or not. But when I tell you, if we need it, this is America. And if enough of them got a problem with him, then maybe something will happen. I'm just saying, maybe something will happen. So, and that's what I mean by it. I don't think that type of treatment is okay for anyone to have to go through. So I don't want anybody to mistake that I'm suggesting that that anybody is deserving of that type of treatment, no matter what you look like, what gender you are, what ethnicity you are, what nationality you are. I'm not suggesting that at all. What I am suggesting, though, is that in America, if you want to see results, if you want to see an empathetic community of people, you better use a white woman to get it done. The white woman is what will be used to make that happen. So he's a motherfucking devil. And I say, bring on all the white women. Okay. So, fifth cause of action, assault under New York law against all defendants. Plaintiff incorporates the allegations within all prior paragraphs within this complaint as if they were fully set forth herein. In engaging in the conduct described above, defendant Combs committed an assault against plaintiff because he intentionally placed plaintiff in reasonable apprehension of imminent harm or offensive contact, and plaintiff reasonably feared immediate bodily harm as a result of defendant's conduct. Defendant's actions amount to violations under New York penal law, blah, 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 and common laws of New York. Okay. Defendant Bad Boy Records has financially and otherwise benefited from these acts and omissions by keeping defendant Combs, the volatile and explosive owner of Bad Boy Records, satisfied and benefited from facilitating his behavior. As a direct and proximate result of all defendants' actions, plaintiff has sustained and will continue to sustain monetary damages and or economic harm, physical injury, pain and suffering, and serious psychological and emotional distress. The conduct of defendant Combs described above was willful, wanton, and malicious at all relevant times. Defendant Combs acted with conscious disregard of plaintiff's rights and feelings, acted with the knowledge of or with reckless disregard for the fact that his conduct was certain to cause injury and or humiliation to plaintiff and intended to cause fear, physical injury and or pain and suffering to plaintiff by virtue of the foregoing. Plaintiff is entitled to recover punitive and exemplary damages from defendant Combs according to proof at trial. 6 cause of action. We on page 19, y'all. We coming in. We coming in for the kill. Hold on. I love lemonade and cranberry juice, but I love lemonade. Okay. I'm still here. Ducky Dexter. V, when do we get to say guilty? Now. Okay. Guilty. Okay. He's guilty. In my opinion. Okay. In my opinion. This is my opinion upon information and belief. I believe that he is, but it's all allegedly. Okay. This is all alleged. But I think he's guilty as mother sucking sin because the devil would be guilty of sin. Huh? All right. Now, 6 cause of action. Battery, actual battery under New York law against defendants Sean Combs and bad boy entities. Plaintiff incorporates the allegations within all prior paragraphs within this complaint as if they were fully set forth herein. In engaging in the conduct described above, defendant Combs committed a battery against plaintiff because he intentionally engaged in unlawful, intentional, and offensive touching or application of force to plaintiff's person. Defendant Combs repeatedly and without consent touched plaintiff Jane Doe's body without her consent. Defendant's actions amount to violations under the New York Penal Code, penal law, and the common law of New York. Defendant Bad Boy Records has financially and otherwise benefited from these acts and omissions by keeping defendant Combs, the volatile and explosive owner of Bad Boy Records, satisfied and benefited from facilitating his behavior. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's actions, plaintiff has sustained and will continue to sustain monetary damages and or economic harm, physical injury, pain and suffering, and serious psychological and emotional distress. The above described conduct by defendant Combs was willful, wanton, and malicious. At all relevant times, defendant Combs acted with conscious disregard of plaintiff Jane Doe's rights and feelings, acted with the knowledge of or with reckless disregard for the fact that his conduct was certain to cause injury and or humiliation to plaintiff Jane Doe and intended to cause fear, physical injury, and or pain and suffering to plaintiff Jane Doe. By virtue of the foregoing, plaintiff Jane Doe is entitled to recover punitive and exemplary damages from defendant Combs according to proof at trial. Demand for jury trial. Plaintiff demands a jury trial on all claims and issues as permitted by law. Prayer for relief. Wherefore, plaintiff demands judgment against defendants jointly and severally as to all causes of action, awarding plaintiff in amounts likely to exceed all lower courts. Compensatory damages in an amount sufficient to fairly and completely compensate plaintiff for all damages, past and future. Treble damages, penalties, costs, and attorney's fees. Punitive damages, interest, costs, and disbursements. Entering judgment in favor of the plaintiff in a final order against each of the defendants. Wherefore plaintiff prays that the court then wait. Wherefore plaintiff prays that the court them judgment in their favor against defendants and award them compensatory damages, attorney's fees and costs, and any other relief deemed just and proper. Dated March 5th, 2025. Respectfully submitted, Sack and Sack LLP, Jonathan S. Sack, Esquire, New York, New York. What y'all say? What say you? What say you about this here nigga? Huh? I say he did it. It's all alleged, but I say he did it. I say he did it, child. We made it. We did that. Okay. We did that. Child. Okay. Any updates? Let me see if anything crazy done happened over here. Let's see. We got any. Hold on, y'all. I saw something else. Hold on. Okay. I see. Got something to talk about the next live today. Okay. New York Post. I want to see what they're saying over there about live updates. Y'all want? So watch this space. Okay. Okay. I got some updates I can go through real quick to talk about today's stuff. I can go to New York Post. It got some general updates based upon being in the courtroom. So I am wait, hold on, y'all. Queen Blacks are guilty. Hold on. What y'all say? Now that's how you read Silverback. You go. Shut up. Oh, yes, a lie, honey. Queen Blacks are guilty, child. Woo! Too much. It is too much. Okay. Just Nikki said extra guilty. Extra guilty. I was glued onto every word Silverback could be. Which you say I was glued to every word Silverback could never, honey. Child. I didn't say it. Y'all said it. Y'all said it. I didn't say it. Let me get over here to the New York. Oh, right there. Hold on. How come I couldn't pull it up? It's easy. Right there. There we go. No, that's not it. Hold on. How come I can't get it over here? Wait, let me go over here to the Washington Post. I've never read theirs. Nah, I want to go where I want to go. I want to go to New York Post. Let me send it to myself so we can find out what Mia has been saying since we have been reading this damn lawsuit and doxing her. Okay. I don't mean dox you, sis. You public. The people, I didn't discover you. Other people had discovered you, and it made it easier for me to find you. I'm just saying, Mia. Okay, sis. Hold on, y'all. Let me send it to myself because I like the link I have. Okay. Child, I got a little sore little throat, my darn self. I should probably take some. What the hell? Hold on, y'all. The hell? Oh, I know what it is. Y'all know what? This is the one thing about working off of this Mac. I want to do cut and paste like I normally would, and I guess I can't. Like it's little small little things that they do different that throw me, that mess up. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen again. Let's see. What you say, lovely one? Nah, God gonna tell Diddy no next life for you. You're going straight to hell. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You know, I want him to go wherever Jeffrey Epstein is. Okay. However he got there. They seem very much alike. Let me share this. I feel like I need more lemonade. Hold on. Did I see somebody say some lemonade earlier? Who said something? I thought I had seen something. Yeah, I feel like I need more of. And I like a good old lemonade with some pulp. I like a little pulp in my. Look, the lemonade ain't lemonade if it ain't got no pulp in it. Queen Black says that. What did she say about lemonade? Oh, there she goes. Speaking of lemonade, where's the lemonade crafter? I want to buy some. Yeah, is that what Sarah Colette? Sarah Colette, do you do? I know she does. What? Remember, she does the lemonade cake. I need to reach out to Sarah Colette, child. Cause baby, you know I want some damn. Hold on. Okay, I want some damn lemonade cake. Child, I really do. Okay, so this says Diddy Trial. Wait, did that show? Is that? Oh, okay. Says Diddy Trial updates. Alleged victim Mia takes the stand. So let's get into this. Oh, all right. Yeah, let me make it bigger because y'all can't. Let me move myself around here. Hopefully that'll make it bigger, a little bit, sort of. Okay. All right. Sean Combs, longtime stylist, spilled the disgraced rap mogul's vile and violent secrets at Diddy's trafficking trial in Manhattan. Okay, we know about the stylist yesterday, friends with Cassie. I think he finished up first thing today. He talked about how Diddy spoke of him, spoke of Cassie, how he witnessed the treatment and abuse of Cassie, a lot of all of that, right? Hit the like button, please. And thank you. Okay. Yeah. Now let's get to Mia. That's what I want to know. So let's scroll on down. Uh-oh. Okay. So I'm going to go, it looks like let's start from the earliest updates, and then we'll move to the most recent. So we've been in here for 2.5 hours. So I'm going to go back 2.5 hours. That's him with Dirty Money. Let me go back 3 hours, 4 hours. Okay. So let's go back a little bit here. Okay, so this is from 4 hours ago. That's a picture of Cassie's eye, Jesus. Says Diddy's assistant testifies about attack where Cassie started gushing blood. So if you remember when Cassie was on the stand and she talks about her friend Mia being present. Actually, I want to say Dante Nash also mentioned the situation where he and Mia were there and witnessed how Cassie was beaten by Diddy, right? Hold on. There we go. So this is a clip of that picture. Let me see if we need to go before that. Testifies about witnessing aftermath of first attack. Okay. Yep. You see that hairdo? I wonder if she cut her hair like that at the same time that Cassie did. Just wonder. Okay. I'm going to start right around. Oh, there's Dante Nash. That's the friend and stylist. And he, like I said, he finished up earlier today. So when did he get on the stand? Okay. And I kind of mentioned this about how she didn't get any sleep. She took ADHD. What's wrong with me lately? ADHD medication to stay up, and then she finally was having a breakdown, so he let her go get some sleep, right? So I'm just gonna go. Actually, what did I say? Okay. I'm just gonna move up to the next part. I guess when she talks about how she wasn't allowed to lock her bedroom door. I mentioned that too. It says Diddy's live-in assistant says she wasn't allowed to lock her bedroom door. This is my house. No one locks their doors. So it just says that Sean Diddy Combs didn't allow his live-in assistant to lock her bedroom door while his live-in security guards could, according to testimony. Mia, who is testifying anonymously, says she started living at Combs's home around 2009 or 2010, and he told her, "This is my house. No one locks their doors." Okay. But security could make sense. And it's given R. Kelly a little bit. It's kind of given R. Kelly. Would you say Ducky Dexter? I'm going OD on lemonade and cranberry juice, y'all. Okay. So Dante's leaving. Okay, I'm moving from that. Let's move up. Okay. Now, It says this was 4 hours ago. Diddy took away Cassie's car, jewelry, and financial support when he was upset. Okay. Sean Diddy Combs would take away the things he paid for from his long-term on and off girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, when he was upset with her, according to testimony. Mia, Combs' employee, who is testifying anonymously, said his company paid for Ventura's homes and cars. Prosecutor Madison Smizer asked Mia, Ventura's close friend, if Combs would ever take away things he paid for. All the time, Mia said, noting he took her car, jewelry, and financial support away when he was upset with her. Mia said that Combs had control over nearly every decision involving Ventura's singing and acting career. All right, there's Cassie. That looks like Nia. I mean, I don't know who that is. I shouldn't suggest to know who that is. Actually, it looks like somebody else I know. Remember, y'all, I told y'all I know somebody who won't interview, that I told y'all was very, 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 very close. I mean, this might not be him because I can't really tell for sure. It's probably not him, especially with the way he's wearing this hat. But I did see a clip that I want to say, what's the name of that channel? News Nation, that News Nation YouTube page. They were interviewing somebody, and this video came on screen, and I'm not going to describe the video, but it was a candid video of Diddy at an event, and he's standing there with the guy that I told y'all would not interview with me about it, that I met years ago. Anyway. Anywho. Okay. It said, all right, let me see. Wait. All right. So it says Combs' assistant testifies about witnessing aftermath of Combs' first attack on Cassie. Says Sean Diddy Combs' assistant testified about the first time she witnessed the aftermath of the music mogul attacking Cassie. Assistant Mia said the fight happened around 2009 or 10 at Combs' Los Angeles home. I remember upstairs, loud thuds, like something hitting the wall, Mia testified. Look at Diddy. Look at Diddy. Okay. Then I just remember seeing suitcases being thrown over the foyer from the second floor, she testified. Mia then found Ventura hiding and crying and shaking behind a bush. But Ventura gestured for Mia to act like she wasn't there. So Mia left and didn't mention where Ventura was staked out. Never have to hide behind a fucking bush. Can you? This man is evil as hell. Evil as hell. Just fucking evil, y'all. Okay. Okay. Now that's the other girl, Carrie, but I'll scroll down in a minute. Okay. So it says Diddy's assistant testifies about attack where Cassie started gushing blood. So Mia, Sean Diddy Combs' assistant, testified about once trying to intervene to stop the music mogul's attack on girlfriend Cassie Ventura. He threw me against the wall so quick and so easily, and I realized we were in real danger, Mia said, noting that stylist Dante Nash also tried to stop the assault. But the Bad Boy Records founder didn't relent, and he threw Ventura on the bed, and she cut her face on the corner. My God. She just started gushing blood, Mia said. Combs instructed Mia to call a friend who had a doctor connection and tell them Cass was drunk and hit her head, Mia recalled. Now that's right here. That's not the girl that we're talking about. That's not Mia, but that is Carrie that interviewed or testified last week. Okay. Hey, Mistress Monica. What'd you say? Say J said, for the people in the back that want to still question why Cassie stayed, V-stylers, not y'all. Riddle me this. Why are grown ass men Washington acting like they're scared of Trump? Make it make sense. Oh, I got you. Because Lovely One said, because they did the same crime too, just don't want to be all out in the open. When I tell you, and people don't like this, but I think there are more men than we know or realize that behave in this kind of conduct. And many of them may not be who they are by nature, but I've heard of shit like this happening in high school to girls. I heard about it. So that's why I never went nowhere by myself. There was just certain things I was never going to put myself in a position so that this could happen, you know? Not that people do it so it can happen, but I just, you know, I'm very uneasy about certain circumstances, you know? And I just know that there are a lot of guys that as a rites of passage have done this type of shit. And they didn't call it grape. They called it running a train or some shit like that. You know what I mean? So, anywho. Man, so okay, let me okay, so let's go back up. Ooh, that's an ugly cut. Swollen eye. Okay, so Prince's security guards had to pull Diddy off of Cassie when he attacked her at exclusive party. So Mia, Sean Combs' assistant, testified that Prince's security guards had to get the Bad Boy Records founder off of his girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Ventura and Mia snuck out to an exclusive party Prince, aka the artist, was hosting without the knowledge of Ventura's controlling boyfriend, Combs. But Combs eventually showed up, caught up to Ventura, and had her on the ground. Mia told the jury, it's like he started to attack her, but Prince's security swiftly intervened. After the two women went to the party, Mia was told by the head of human resources that she was suspended without pay and was in big trouble for being insubordinate. Child, stop it. Okay, so then they went to lunch, and now we are getting ready to get caught up with what happened after lunch. All right, y'all with me? Okay, these are great summaries. There's so many people out here that are reading the actual tweets word for word. So, of course, I suggest going to check a few of them out. I know that Pammy Pam was doing it. And by Pammy Pam, I mean Pam Esquire, the law intellect. Who else? What's her name? That surprise witness. She's reading them. I don't know who else, but later on today, Mims does a really good job. Even though he's not tweeting, he's really good about saying they asked this, the person said that. They asked this, the person said that. So he's real good at doing that, and gives a really good summary each day. So check him out. Again, Chronicle Speaks. she's great because she's very concise. You know what I'm saying? To the extent that, like, the last few days, wasn't even watching some of these folks. I waited until Chronicle Speaks got done, because it's almost like within an hour or so of court ending, she has her video out. It's usually right at 30 minutes. She reads things very concise. She's going from the transcripts, and I love it. So Chronicle Speaks. I know Simone, girl, is that legal? She was doing the tweets and reading. Now this week, I know that she is there, so it'd be great to see what she summarizes each day. I saw a little bit of what she said yesterday, so I'm gonna watch her tonight. Who else? Chronicle Speak. I said Pam. I said Simone. I said Mims. Armand. I'm probably missing somebody again, y'all. Oh, and Tisa tells. Okay. All right, and Dennis Byron, but Dennis doesn't do the tweets like that, but he does give his take on it, which I rarely agree with him. I'm just saying, he said something yesterday during his damn recap. What did Dennis say? He said something during his recap yesterday, like, why did something happen? And I was like, what? Oh, he was saying about the guy having, so what? Well, that's not it. But one thing he did say was that the stylist came with an attorney, and he thinks that the reason being is because he's probably gearing up to sue Diddy. But there was something else he said, though, that I was like, what? Dennis, what? I don't know. I got to go back and check. But he said something, and I was like, dude, what the hell? I'm telling you, Bella said, Dennis, what'd you say, pissed me off? Slut shaming. And that's the thing. I feel like, Dennis, why you always over here? It feels like you over here caping for Diddy. It's giving that, Dennis. But that's okay, because I'm over here caping for these victims. I'm always going to stand with the victims until I know that they ain't victims. Unless I hear something that sounds really, really freaking fishy, which I have in chat, I'm going to stand with the victims until I hear something crazy, or until it is proven that they didn't do it. Okay. What you said? Washington got their own click call bones and skull. Oh yeah. He got his own issues, and I don't know if he's going to pardon Diddy or not. But he didn't do it for Epstein, so I hope he keeps that same energy for this fool. You know what I mean? Okay. Yes, Miss Lady, we stand with the victims over here. That's what the V-Stylist is about, okay? I don't know what Dennis be on sometimes, child. Anyway, and that's not hating on you, Dennis. That's just me and you not agreeing. We agree to disagree. Dennis, my boy, okay? We go together like peanut butter and jelly, okay? Like ham and burger, okay? That's me and Dennis. But baby, sometimes you be tripping, okay? Sometimes you be tripping. All right. Love you, but you be tripping. So anyway, okay. So let's get into what we've missed. All right. All right. Cassie and Mia fled from Diddy twice. On Turks and Caicos trip, she says he's going to off me. Okay. Sean Diddy Combs was so volatile and violent on a trip in Turks and Caicos with his girlfriend Cassie Ventura and his assistant Mia that the two women found themselves running away from him twice. The trio were on a trip in Parrot Cay, 2012, when Mia was awoken by Ventura one night, running and screaming, "You got to help me. He's going to kill kill me. Mia recalled Ventura saying about Combs, aka Puff Daddy. The two women barricaded themselves into a room, blocking the door with furniture as an irate Combs banged and screamed on the door to get inside. The duo snuck out a back door in the room and ran down the beach away from him, Mia recalled. The pair had to flee from him a second time on that trip when he laid flat on paddleboards off the shore while the Bad Boy Records founder ran along the beach screaming and irate. But the weather started to change while they were floating, Mia recalled. I was trying to weigh whether it was scarier to face Mother Nature or go back to Puff, Mia said, noting they did eventually return to him. Mia said she never reported any of the assaults to the cops because I believe that Puff was above the police. And I believe he was too. He definitely was. And he was counting on y'all knowing that. That's why a lot of shit he didn't mind people seeing because he wanted to instill fear. Oh, a mess. Look at this. Everybody always laid on each other around here. Okay. All right. So Diddy forced people to play rug guessing game with cocaine, Molly, ketamine at Burning Man testimony. I'm sorry, at Burning Man. I didn't know what Burning Man was until this trial. I'd never heard of it. Some event, I guess. According to testimony, Sean Diddy Combs orchestrated a rug guessing game using white powders of cocaine, ketamine, and Molly during Burning Man. People were taking turns and playing some guessing game, said Mia, who is testifying anonymously as an alleged victim of SA by Combs. When it was Mia's turn, she got nervous and tried to opt out, but Combs wouldn't let it go. Mia tried taking a fake snort of the drugs, but Combs got close to my face and was upset that I just tried to fake it. He eventually separated a dose for Mia to snort, which she did. I'm just sitting here thinking about but when I got away from him for a minute, I blew a lot of it out because I was so scared of watching what ketamine did to others, she testified. I didn't. So ketamine comes in a powder form. I don't know what I thought it came. Well, I tell you what I thought, because I always think a tranquilizer in my mind has to be injected in you. So in my mind, I didn't realize it came in a powder form. I don't know. Because ketamine is the horse tranquilizer, yes or no? Isn't it? But then with that said, what's Majigger said, Q just said that he believes he got the horse tranquilizer by pill. So I don't know why I thought that. So I guess you could snort it, huh? Anyway. Oh. So wait, who is that? Oh, is that her? That's not her, right? No, it wouldn't be her. I don't know who these people are, though. Okay. All right. There's Diddy Dirty Money on what's her name show. Okay. Chelsea Handler. So it says Diddy got high at board meetings and at Chelsea Handler's TV show. Okay. Sean Diddy Combs sometimes got high at inappropriate times, like during a board meeting, and once during Chelsea Handler's TV show, his ex-assistant testified. Okay, so I guess they are at the show. I feel like what old girl be doing that too. I wonder, did Dawn do drugs like that? Maybe she said she didn't. But I feel like this is my look. What's her name? What's old girl's name? Kalina. I feel like she be doing it. Now I don't know you, Kalina. But I think you be doing it. You act like you do it. You be acting real weird. Okay. Like one time was a board meeting. One time was going to the Chelsea Handler show, Mia told the jury. There were just a few times where I was like, oh gosh, when am I going to have to pull him to the side and say, you look a little crazy at the moment? Okay, so there was that. All right, there they are. Okay. Now it says raving mad Diddy threw bowl of spaghetti at live-in assistant for the most ridiculous reason. Sean Diddy Combs once threw a bowl of spaghetti at his live-in assistant for trying to go to her room to change her tampon. This Negro is crazy. He crazy, y'all. Something wrong with him. He evil and crazy as hell. Ain't no way. Oh, Chronicle Speaks. They must be done for today. Because Chronicle Speaks is posting, honey. And here's the thing. Is she in the courtroom? Because she is getting those transcripts super duper fast. And I have not heard one person say that she was there. But when I tell you she got all the deets, but I ain't heard one person say she was there. I love Chronicle Speaks. Anyway. Oh my God. This fool is something else. This nigga is crazy. Mia, who is testifying anonymously as an alleged SA victim of Combs, said the incident unfolded at 3 a.m. at Combs' Los Angeles house where she lived. Mia said the Bad Boy Records founder told her to go get everybody, but she started heading to her bedroom so she could change her tampon. He was upset, Mia recounted for the jury. He said we needed to go now. He went on a really humiliating rant in front of everybody, she testified. There was blood dripping down my leg. Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Now, come on now. Why are you sitting there allowing, girl, he now, and let me say this. Now, I understand she knew him to be violent and she had witnessed violence, but he had not been violent towards her yet that I know of. I mean, he did throw her against the wall when she tried to stop him. I mean, that's violent. And it is traumatic to witness anything like that. But, ma'am, oh, he is demented. He is so fucking demented. Nasty piece of shit. Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, Wait, where was it? Okay, he was upset. Okay, he went on a really humiliating rant in front of everybody, she testified. There was blood dripping down my leg, and I said, I'm on my period. I just need to change my tampon. He immediately had a bowl of spaghetti in his hand, and he threw it at me and started aggressively cussing me out like I had to get the hell out of his house. And I would have gone. I hope you left and never returned. She was later told by the head of human resources, not for the first time, that she was suspended without pay. Other things that Combs threw at her in separate incidents included a computer, turkey meat. Not why are you letting his food throw shit at you, baby? Oh my God. Oh my God. He wants to make people crazy. He is evil as fuck. Oh, this demented piece of shit. Diddy's assistant recounts the first time hip hop mogul allegedly SA'd her the first time. So not only has she had to witness abuse, she has been verbally abused and humiliated. And now this, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. You know what, Bella? You know what, Bella? I was thinking about that the other day. The sins of the father. He's not going to be able to get around somebody not mistreating one of these girls. He got 4 girls. He got 4 girls. And I don't care how big and bad he thinks he is. And I don't give a damn if he's free or behind bars. He will pay. He will pay. God has a way of balancing everything out. You know, my mom taught me that years ago. She's like, God has a way of balancing everything out. The people with the what appears to have the biggest blessings and privilege in life, they also have a certain level of pain that they also have to deal with in life. And what you do will come back on you, even if it comes through somebody else. You're not going to be able to stop it. You may be able to do something after it's done or whatever, but the pain will have been caused. So I'm just saying, Okay, I'm done. Okay, let's get into this. Sean Diddy Combs allegedly first SA'd his former assistant Mia just a few months after she began working for him in 2009. Oh, wow. So early on? Jesus. Because look, she was still dealing with him in 2020. That article, because she went on to work, I told you to go, well, yeah, this ain't alleged. They said it today while she was on the stand. She went on to work for Revolt, right? And that was in 2020. That article that I read at the beginning of the live, that was in 2020. Ooh, baby. So let's see. So it happened in 2009. Mia, who is testifying anonymously, said the first of numerous sporadic assaults. Numerous during her tenure working for him between 2009 and 2017. Now, here's the thing. And again, no judgment. No, I'm not judging. I am just questioning. This is just a question, Mia. I understand. See, while a lot of people, have demonized Cassie for staying. Why would she stay? But you know what? I guess it's the same logic. Because I was going to say, this wasn't even her lover. It's her boss. So I don't know. I don't know if I would have stayed, though. I don't know. And again, it's easy to say what you wouldn't have done. Oh my God. Like, I can't imagine. She continued to. It says she worked with him between 2009 and 2017. But that article, I guess she was the assistant for that amount of time. But that article was in 2020, and she was working for Revolt at that time. And he was about to create a show based on her life with him, her working with him. So she stuck it out for a while. So, okay. All right, I'm sorry. Let me read this again. Mia, who's testifying anonymously, said that the first of numerous sporadic assaults during her tenure tenure working for him between 2009 and 2017 took place during the Bad Boy Records founder's 40th birthday party at the Penthouse at the Plaza Hotel. He called Mia into the kitchen, clearing everyone else out, and started telling her what a great job she was doing working for him before pouring them both 2 shots to toast his birthday. Mia testified the shots affected her much more than normal, and the next thing she knew, Combs was kissing her and putting his hands up her dress. He put his arm next against my head, against the wall. He put his arm next against my head, against the wall, and leaned in to kiss me and put his other hand up the side of my dress. She testified, noting she didn't want him to kiss or grape her. The next thing she remembers, she woke up sitting in the chair in a meeting room of the Penthouse with no recollection of how she ended up there. He was my boss. He was a very powerful person. He was, to me, he's younger than my dad, but I looked at him like an older adult. He was the boss or the king, a very powerful person. And he did sort of set himself up for that. You know what I mean? He set himself up. He wanted people to see him as a king because a king has no bounds, right? Whereas, we have presidents here, and a president has to answer. There's checks and balance systems in our government. I don't know how effective they are, and I don't know how effective they will be in the future, but that's how it's set up. Whereas a king he has absolute power, right? And that's how Diddy liked to function. Jesus. Mia, who became close friends with Combs' on and off girlfriend Cassie, never told Ventura about the alleged assaults. So everybody's keeping secrets. Cassie's not telling people about the freak offs, and she's not telling her friend about her own attacks. What y'all saying in here? Child. Okay. CJ said, V, people have obligations. They blame themselves. So many things. And you know that he most likely told no one would believe him. Yeah. He most likely said, I'm P. Diddy. Why would I need to take it? That and the fact that once they go to report shit, then he's got police in his pocket. So nothing comes of the reports. He's got politicians in his pocket, judges. He's got all kinds of people. Oh God, I can't. It's a mess. The Prince's security stopped Diddy from beating Cassie. That was hosted by Prince. The ex-assistant took the stand in court. Yeah. I just read that. We just talked about Prince, child. Where you go? You must have left. Okay. We just went over that, child. Okay, but thanks. Okay. So let's okay. All right. Okay, so Diddy's living assistant cries as she testifies about alleged grape. Did y'all notice in the last paragraph, the last update, they said grape instead of the R word, but R word is in the title. I was like, why did they say grape? It's printed. Why they do that? Anyway. All right. It says, Sean P. Diddy Combs' living assistant, Mia, testified about a time when she woke up in her room in his Los Angeles house with the hip hop mogul on top of her. This mother sucker is sick. Mia, who testifying anonymously as an alleged SA victim, told jurors Combs prohibited her from locking her bedroom door. One night, she woke up to the weight of a person on top of me. Her voice breaking. Mia described how the Bad Boy Records founder quickly undid his pants and graped her. I remember it was sort of like him telling me, shh, mirror counted. It happened so fast, using one hand to get his, I guess, his pants or whatever off. She says she froze and felt terrified and confused and ashamed and scared. And I completely get all of that. I get all of it. I get all that. I also get freezing in that moment. Now that I get too. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Eh, Here's the thing. I will almost, it's so weird to say this, y'all, but see, when he threw the spaghetti, you know what, Jason Finch? Fuck your dumb ass. Don't fucking come over here ever again. You're a weirdo. Okay? You're sick. And I don't want you over here anymore. I saw that shit the other day and I was like, surely this person is just get just being funny, joking. But let me just make sure you understand, you dumbass evil fuck. That will never be tolerated over here at all. And he didn't cuss, he didn't say anything belligerent, but in my estimates, it was absolutely disgusting to say that mother sucker's name. So don't ever come over here ever again in life. Okay. And if anybody comes into the chat and they say something stupid like that, block them because I ain't got time. All right. I ain't got time. All right. Mm, mm, mm. Anyway, when prosecutor Madison Smizer asked Mia if she wanted to have sex with Combs, she sobbed and responded, no. He's sick. I hope his children are listening. I hope his children understand and believe that these people, all of them ain't lying. And as long as this lady worked for him, I hope that, and obviously lived with them, I pray that regardless of what they're doing to support their dad, I hope they're really hearing what this man has been doing, whether they believed it before or not. If they're going to sit in there and listen, I hope they fucking are listening. Wait, what'd you say? Texas Toy? I've had to watch whose channel I go to for Diddy's updates. There is a CC I respect, but her coverage of Diddy attracts the worst of the worst. Really? I can't imagine who that is. Send me an email. Tell me who it is. I'm just curious. I won't say who you're saying. But if you feel comfortable, send me a message, Texas Toy. I'm just curious. Who? Trying to think. Because I honestly don't think I've heard anybody, especially now the female, I can't think of one that I have heard even siding with him. I don't know. I'm wondering if you're talking about, because I don't think this person, I don't think she, I don't know. Yeah, tell me. I'm just curious. Okay, let's get on with it. Let's see. Okay, so here's the next one. Okay, if I mentioned her, I know who you're talking about. You think she leans towards him though? If Bella, if I mentioned her, I think I know who you're talking about. But if I mentioned her, she's if I mentioned her, Are you saying I don't know. I'll wait to see who she says. This isn't somebody who I think I might know who you're talking about. We can talk about it once I see who if she sends it to me. Okay. Okay. Diddy's ex-assistant testified she felt like trash when hip-hop mogul forced himself on her. Sean Diddy Combs, former assistant, testified that she felt like trash after the hip hop mogul allegedly forced himself on her once again. Mia, who is testifying anonymously as a SA accuser, described another SA among a series by Combs during her time working from, I think, meant for him from 2009 through 2017. Mia sat on the floor of Combs's closet to help him pack for a trip, and when he abruptly forced her to give him oral, Jesus. The fuck you mean you forcing me? I mean, I can't with all of this. This is too much. This is too much. And I don't want to hear that she stayed. I mean, look, we could question all of it, but I mean, again, this nigga, this fool right here, I don't like. Please, please do away with him, Lord. Rid him, rid him. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Okay. All right, let me get this. What am I about to say, child? Okay. I don't forgot what I was saying, but anyway, let me. Okay, Mia, who says, okay, Mia sat on the floor of the closet to help him pack for a trip, and we abruptly forced her to give him a professional. Mia said she felt like trash, scared and ashamed like an idiot after the incident. This was just one of the alleged times he SA'd and raped her. Jesus. Okay. Diddy's ex-assistant says she never said no to the hip hop mogul's essays because of his power and control. I get it. Sean Diddy Combs' former assistant testified that she never said no to the hip hop mogul when he essayed her because of his power and control. Mia, who is testifying under a false name, said she didn't ever want to have sex with the Bad Boy Records founder, but she was afraid to tell him now. I knew his power and I knew his control over me. I didn't want to lose everything that I worked so hard for in this world. That was the only thing I had anymore, Mia told jurors. He had everybody scared. You know, it has me wondering, like, I know we talk a lot about these cowardly men that stood by and watched, but I just wonder, like, everybody was scared of him. I think those bodyguards were scared of him too. Like, and I think he purposely did things in front of folks so the word would get out about just how evil he is. Hi, just Natalie. Okay, so Diddy's ex-assistant testifies about what she never reported or why she never reported the essays. Sean Diddy Combs' former assistant, Mia, testified about the slew of reasons that stopped her from ever going to the police about the numerous times the hip hop mogul SA'd her. Mia detailed how she felt controlled by a powerful Combs who was prone to violent rages. She said she was also worried she'd get blacklisted from the entertainment business and felt the cops were too enamored with the Bad Boy Records founder to take her claim seriously. Mia described once getting pulled over driving when she was rushing to Mecombs for work, but her license had lapsed. Jesus. I was panicking because I didn't want to get in trouble, Mia said. It was the only time I name dropped, but the female cop wanted proof of Mia's association with the famed rapper, who Mia put her on the phone with. Oh, the second I handed the phone, she started laughing, saying, "Oh my God, Puff Daddy, I love you." Mia wasn't given a speeding ticket. I know you kidding. Anyway, Diddy's ex-assistant to continue testifying Friday morning. Sean Diddy Combs' former assistant Mia wrapped up testimony for the day. Mia ended by telling jurors she didn't want to testify at Combs' trafficking trial because it's the most traumatizing thing, the worst thing, the most shameful thing that happened to me. She is expected to continue her testimony Friday morning. All right. We did it.
A mass deportation effort that President Trump has put forth in the United States.
Child, I don't want to hear that.
Were there and said that any
No.
resources they need.
I don't care. I don't care. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So I think we got all of that. Okay. Yeah, we did it. We got all. We're completely up to date. Any questions? We are right at the 3 hour and 28 minute mark. How y'all doing? I am about to end this live. I got to make a phone call, but then I plan to come back live. Okay. I plan to come back live probably in the next hour or so because I can't go live later tonight. Well, I could, but we got people coming over and stuff. So I kind of want to be done by the time they come. So anywho, y'all, thank y'all for joining me today. Any questions, honey? Huh? Did you send me the thing? Let me check. Oh, really? Okay. I got you. And now that you mentioned, that's not who I thought, but now that you mention it, I did notice that last week. So yeah, that's a good point. I did. You're probably, yep. Okay. All right, y'all. Look, coffee is brewing. Look at y'all looking. Y'all crazy. Okay. Look, I'm coming back within the hour. In an hour, probably. I need to make a phone call. And once I make the phone call, I'm going to come back and do some Nesto. Okay. I'm going to talk about the texts that coincide with the videos we did yesterday. And I'm going to do the call that I didn't do yesterday from the day before. Okay. Y'all with it? I hope you are. Okay. Told you I was coming back at least twice today. I did say I would do a members only, but maybe I'll do that tomorrow morning. But yeah, I think I think I'm just gonna do this other Nesto thing. Okay. You just got off your black job. What time is it? Okay, it's 2:15 here. So it's 5 o'clock on the East Coast. That's why they finished for the day in court, huh? All right. Thank y'all for kicking it with me. Thank you to everybody who super chatted today. Thank you, Prima Wanda, for becoming a member. And thanks to all of you in the chat. Most specifically, too, I want to thank my moderators. Love y'all. Okay. So we will be back in an hour. Let me check on some stuff. And then I'll see you soon. Okay. All right. Hit the like button. Smooches.